Fire. Oh, let's see who's here today. No, no. It's been a while. It's been a while. There we go. Should be all good. There we go. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Uh, Locks is first today. Look at that. How you doing, man? What's going on? Look at that. I am genuinely shocked. Wagwan Mexicans. How you doing, man? What's going on? I think I came at a good time today, right? I really put the emphasis on showing up early today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm live. Come join. All right, there we go. Okay. We can all hear? We can all see me? Second, Abubakar? No, you're third. But nice try, though. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are we all good? One in the chat if we can hear and see me. I'm coming in nice, clear, all that good stuff. Can I tie my hair up? Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'll put you betwixt my thighs right now. Did I bring? Yeah, I did. There we go. Put that into a nice bun in the back. There we go. Not too tight now. I don't need my scalp getting pulled off. How I look? Much better? There we go. Alright. Let's see. How we doing? What happened to your eyes? What happened to my eyes? Oh, it's probably just sparring, honestly. It's probably sparring. How we doing today, guys? Let's get into this. You guys know what we're here for. You know how we get down. I'm genuinely surprised there's like as much people here as there are. I wasn't expecting that many, but I'm sure my people up in Europe will be very happy to be here right now because I'm usually on live when they're already asleep. So, you know, can't complain too much. Can't complain. I was second on my end, dog. That Brev third, big homies. Fair enough. Let me see. Who are we talking about? Locks is first. Mexicans. Okay, so on your end, well, on my end, Mexicans is second. You're third. It's okay. You can be first next time. It's all right. You took the L this time. But Wagwan though, how we doing? I've been watching Supercell, so obviously, you know, your boy's just gonna start speaking in South London accent from time to time, because who's gonna stop me? You get me? Big up South London. It's Sephora makeup. What's Sephora makeup? I have no idea what we're talking about right now. It's been long, man. I've been good, bro. I've been good, El Ross. How we doing? You picked up another combat sport? Nah. It's still jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and MMA. Still the same. What's going on, Q Ball? Welcome. But yeah, your boy be sparring sometimes. No, I don't think I have that much swelling on me today. Oh, I do see like a little welt over here though. I did catch that. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's about it though. It's not like it was a hard crack anyway, and I rolled with it, so it's all good. It's a nice check left hook. But I rolled with that bitch. Uh, Jay's so random with these lives. It do be random. It do be random. How you doing, Isaac? Uh, Jesus is never coming back. Shit, you better hope you're right about that. That's all I'm gonna say. You better hope you're right about that. Hey, Unc, what's the move? We just chilling, asking questions. Well, we haven't even gotten to that point yet. If you guys want to start asking questions, let's go for it. You already know what I'm here for. Let's begin to get this cracking. It's been a while. TikTok took me off for, I think, 7 days. I was suspended for a little bit, but I'm back, as I always am. Hey, what's good, Casanova? Where you been? How you been? What you been up to? What you saying, Super Saiyan? I'm stealing that, Ali. I'm going to steal that. That is my new shit now. What you saying, Super Saiyan? I'm stealing that, and I'm not giving you credit. That's my shit now. What you saying, Super Saiyan, is so fucking dope, and it rhymes. We were told that you only did BJJ. You were told very fucking wrong. Like, I've done kickboxing pretty much a lot longer than I've done BJJ. I only added grappling to my life in like 2021. Before that point, it was nothing but striking. It was taekwondo, it was kickboxing. So, yeah, you were told absolutely wrong. Sorry. But yeah, you guys, like, come on. You guys should know by now, I always talk about my right hand. I have the touch of death in my right hand. Like, you don't train that in BJJ. Just saying, Haven't you guys seen my knockout videos when I put those out for you sometimes? You haven't seen those? You must be new here. I don't know. Which is disappointing because Abubakar, you're not new here. You know better than that. But, it is what it is. I'll just chalk it up to you haven't seen those. Ever try to pull a girl in a group of friends, but the whole time the friends are just hamming a girl? I don't know what you mean by hamming. Are you talking about like they're all cock blocking you, or they're all trying to get her attention over yours, or what do you mean by that? I don't know what that means. But I think I've pretty much experienced everything that can happen in a group set by this point in my life. I've had experiences where the girls literally just serve up the friend they want you to have on the silver platter for you. It'll happen, right? Maybe that particular friend is getting over a breakup, and those other girls in their friend groups, just all decide like she needs this. She just needs, some company tonight. So they all literally like push her in your arms, like, "Hey, he's cute. Here you go." That'll happen from time to time. You'll also have the opposite effect. You'll also have the weird everyone agrees with you and likes you, but that one friend just fucking hates you. Maybe you like look like her ex-boyfriend or something, so she's trying to cock block you like the hardest. It's all like, it's weird, but it happens. It happens. Let's see. What's going on, Fish Army? That's fine. You were told wrong, but it's fine. You know better now. Would you do influencer fights, and who if yes? I would fight anybody. I don't really give a fuck. I don't think it would be fair to fight most influencers because they just don't have as much experience as me. If I had to fight someone and it had to be fair, I am thinking about that one guy that I forget his name. Barry, I think his last name is. He's a boxer here on TikTok. He's a heavyweight, so he's around my weight, around my size. He has nothing but hands experience, and that's cool, but I'm more of an MMA guy, man. If I'm going to fight someone, I want to be able to use all the weapons available to me. So I don't know if he has any grappling experience. If he's willing to get into like the octagon with me, I'll do that. And it'll be fair. It'll be someone that actually has experience, as opposed to just anybody. Just anybody just feels wrong, I'm not Sean Strickland. I won't just fight anyone for the sake of it. Like, no. You gotta be able to, protect yourself against me, because I get dangerous in there. Not to brag or anything. It's just the truth. I have evidence for that. In Islam, Jesus would come back to defeat the Dajjal, I believe. I have no idea what is Dajjal? Educate me, please. Enlighten me. I have no idea what the Dajjal is. Uh, let's see. There are no talking snakes, and Jesus was a fake. Cool. I'm texting a very compliant 7 right now. I'm thinking about turning her into a 10. You can be ready for the amount of work that comes with. That's not an easy thing to do. So if you want to do that, good luck. Hey, what's going on? SBU.com. Uh, he does only BJJ. Nah, I do MMA too. How to give a girl discipline? I already am disciplined. You get her to follow your lead. You get her to see the benefits of being the way you are, and then literally just get her to start doing, like, taking on your habits, because that's all discipline really is. It's just a bunch of habits. It's a collection of habits. So you just got to get her to start following you in the habits that you do, and from there it's a slow and gradual process, but eventually she starts doing everything you're doing, and boom, discipline. um First time in the live, never caught one. Oh, welcome, the pimp. I like that name, by the way. How you doing? Welcome. uh let's see. How does someone act confident without having the skills like you? Do we just pretend? It's not a pretend thing, it's a belief thing. I have an entire course where I talk about this, and I put it out for free. So if you haven't registered for the self-belief course, go get it. It's completely free. But I talk about delusional confidence. Like, you have to have the confidence that comes with knowing that it'll all turn out well for your favor. You have to have the confidence of knowing that you are the exception to the rule, and no matter how things turn out, you'll always know how to pull through and survive it. Right? The real confidence, the best kind of confidence to have, isn't necessarily even the one that comes with competence. It's the one that comes with having, like, strong faith in your ability to survive anything. It's, I can do it even if it goes to shit, even if it all goes bad, I can pull through because I'm me. Right? Have that root in confidence. I would say, like, my own suggestion would be, like, root that in your belief in God, obviously. There's nothing better than your belief in God, because there's nothing that can take that away from you. Someone can take away your whatever else you can try to have confidence in. Oh, I have this certain skill, or I have this certain level of masculinity, or I come from this certain place or this country, or I have done these certain things in my life before. And someone can come and strip all those things away, right? But no one can take away your belief in God. That's why it's the best way to, like, root your confidence in, because end of the day, that's something no one can touch, and that's something you want to keep in mind. So, it's not a pretend thing; it's a belief thing. There's a very thin line between belief and pretend, though. So be careful with that. I'm getting ready for national exams coming up next week. Oh, shout out to you! I hope you're preparing. Hope you're, like, actually preparing and preparing correctly, right? Preparation is key, but preparation done improperly is failure, right? Is it true that no woman's decision about a man is ever permanent and can be changed with work and time? Yeah. Women are not permanent creatures. This is something I talk about extensively in my Fundamentals of the Game series. Women are not a permanent creature. They're always subject to change their minds, So the idea that a woman can make a decision that just goes on into perpetuity is just false. It's wrong. It's not real. We're talking about creatures that literally change what they want to eat for lunch, the 2 hours and the hour and the 30 minutes and the 10 minutes and the fucking minute before they actually eat something. You know what I mean? So they're not permanent creatures, no. Jace, I've missed you, man. How you doing, Ryu? And I've missed me too. Fuck. But yeah, I'm back now, baby. I'm back. Yo, man, I need advice. There's this chick I was trying to pick up, but she wasn't feeling you. Okay. I saw her and she said, like, she didn't remember me. Oh, that makes sense. That just means you didn't do or say anything to trigger tension. You didn't create any tension in the moment, so you're forgettable. And honestly, most men are. Don't take it too personal. The vast majority of men are very easy to forget by women. All that means is your skill level in creating tension is just not up there yet. And that's fine. You can practice that some more. You just got to learn to remember to say the risky things that might get the conversation in a bad way, but will get you to be the guy she remembers. That's all it really comes down to, Hamming, mocking. They were clowning the girl. I was asked, oh, they were clowning her. Interesting. So you were trying to get her, they were clowning on her. That tells me, one, she's a lower status member of the group, which means you were probably not going for the hottest girl. And two, they probably wanted your attention more. So they're trying to divert your attention from the girl by making you see how low status she was. Now, the beautiful thing about that is women do that, but they don't understand that it doesn't work for most men because, like, it's not something most men will catch. Does that make sense? Like, the average man isn't smart enough to know about, like, the actual hierarchy or the social status of different women in the same group. Men aren't even really concerned with that. Like, who cares? Even me, I know these things. I understand how that works, and even I don't give a shit. I don't pick girls based on their social status in the group. I pick girls based on how fucking interesting, hot, and compliant they are, right? So I don't give a fuck how her friends see her. If anything, sometimes the hottest girls are the ones that get the most hate. So it is what it is. But the point is, they wanted your attention, and they were trying to get your attention by trying to clown that girl. It happens. It is what it is. Is game necessary in the third world country, or being financially stable covers your need for game? It's not only is it necessary, I would say it's probably more necessary, because I'm gonna tell you why. The only thing that separates you from other men, like seriously, severely separates you, is game. In any part of the world, it's really your game. It's how interesting she thinks you are. It's how multi-dimensional she believes you are, how emotionally mature, socially calibrated, just your experience with women in general. That's what separates you, like how good she feels around you and all the things around that, like the intensity of the emotions, right? That's what separates you from other men. That's what makes women remember you over other men. Now, in the third world, there's like a major disparity in social class and income and standard of living and all that stuff. So if you're a man and you can provide those things on the financial level, absolutely you have a major advantage over other men. Here's the thing though. In the third world, where the opportunity isn't as bountiful as in the first world, you need game to be able to achieve success. A lot more than you do in the first world. Like, in the first world, this is why I love America. You can be a complete idiot and be successful. I've seen it happen many times. That's the beauty of this country. It's so abundant in opportunity that everything and anyone here literally can just become successful just because they're in this country. Just because they're in this country, they can just blow the fuck up. Idiots are fucking millionaires here. In a country like Nigeria, where I'm from, that's not possible. You cannot be an idiot and be successful. It's not real. No, you have to be very smart. Like, why do you think countries like Nigeria and communist countries like China or another overpopulated country like India, why do you think we focus so much on intelligence and academic success? Because if you're not smart, you can't maneuver. And if you can't maneuver, you can't survive. So in a way, being rich in Nigeria is almost a way to signal to women that you are competent enough to survive. Does that make sense? Being rich in Nigeria is more significant than being rich in America. So the only way you're getting that done is game. You have to have game. Like when they talk about, you have to know certain people, network connections, that's all game they're talking about. They might not be talking about it with like regards to women specifically, but you have to know how to socially maneuver. In America, you can be a fucking social recluse and make a fuck ton of money. That doesn't happen in Nigeria. You don't get to be a fucking social recluse and get rich. Right? The whole, I'm just gonna be a silent millionaire. There ain't no fucking silent millionaire. Bitch, if you don't know someone and know how to talk to them and know how to convince them to put you in or get you on or siphon wealth towards you somehow, you're just not going to make it. You're not. Also, can't use game to make money? Yes, you can, and that's literally what I'm talking about. So you need game more in those third world countries so that you can have the financial stability. You need it more. You need it more. So it's an even better, greater importance over there. You feel me? DJ Lal I don't know who DJ Lal is. Uh, the Antichrist. That's what the Dajjal is. Oh, okay, I feel you. Um, the Antichrist coming to defeat. Jesus coming to defeat the Antichrist. That's interesting. It doesn't really say anything like that in the Bible per se. Like, yeah, he punishes the Antichrist, but defeat makes it sound like they go into a fight. And as far as I can tell in the Revelations, Jesus doesn't come from any fighting per se. He just comes and dog walks everybody. um, Speaking of habits, do you recommend the book Atomic Habits? It's actually one of the best books you can read on habits. You know, Atomic Habits is a good one. The 4 Hour Work Week is another great book. Um, I'll always recommend Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. Those are great books for learning, like just cultivating amazing habits for you for your long term success. You know. Olua, oh damn, my name keeps changing every fucking week. Olua Jerome? I don't like Olua Jerome. We meet yet again. Prepare to have our third side piece, fufu fight. Fufu fight is crazy. I'm gonna add that to the vocabulary now. That's a new word I'm gonna start using. Fufu fight. I've heard of fufu fight. I've heard ebafikited. That's fucking hilarious. I've heard amalarized. Amalarized is hilarious. Atomic Habits will be posted in the group next few weeks. Oh, shout out to you, Dimitri. I appreciate that. Yeah, do that for the boys. Um, when he said delusional level of confidence, not like trans people, the belief is for you only. Honestly, it's funny you mentioned that, right? Because one of the videos I made, I have this throwaway account where I just go in there and I post like 6 seconds videos whenever I feel like it. It lagged, so the book not good. What lag? What are we talking about? Oh, did I lag when I was talking about the books? Atomic Habits, 4 Hour Work Week, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Those 3 books. Go read those. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, delusional level confidence trans people. I have this throwaway account where I just say like whatever most controversial thought comes to my mind that day. And one of the videos I left on there, it's one of the more popular videos on that account, which is not saying much. I think I have like 20 something followers on there. Is I say I don't have respect for most trans people because real delusional confidence is the ability to believe in something that other people don't believe in and believe in it by yourself without having other people help you out. If you need other people to feed into your delusion, then you're not delusional enough. All right? So, I mean, I said that tongue in cheek, obviously, but there is a bit of an element of truth to it. It's like, if you need someone else to help you be delusional, then how delusional are you really? For everything in my life that I've ever thought up that was, crazy or impossible to other people, I didn't need other people to help me out. I didn't need other people to confirm to me that what I believed in that was delusional was the truth. If I need them, then do I really believe in it myself? Right? If you decide you wake up and you're born a man, but when you want to be a girl today, you want to start wearing dresses and be called her and she, that's cool. Do what you gotta do. Shit. I don't know if I can say I support it per se, but I'm not gonna bash it. It's your life. It's your choice. But if you need me to call you a girl too, then how much do you really believe it? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, it kind of like still holds up. Like, yeah, it still does. It still holds up. If you believe in something delusional enough, then you don't need help with it. You don't fucking need help. Tension Siege Part. Didn't I post that yet? Tension Siege Part 6? I'm gonna post it. My bad. It's probably still in the draft somewhere. I'm gonna post it. Some guys I know claim they are very sexually direct with girls, and it works. Yes, it works if they're 7s and below. It does not work with the hot ones unless those hot ones are drunk, which I will never recommend for you guys. They don't believe it at all. LOL. They're just trying to get us to believe it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you need me to be delusional with you, you don't believe in what you believe in. I don't need, like, I believe so many things about myself that if I were to say out loud, you guys would be like, you're fucking crazy, Jason. But I don't need you to believe it with me for me to still believe my shit. Like, fuck y'all. I'll believe in what I want to believe. You know? Let's see. How do you recover after wrecking your relationship by showing weak behavior? You wrecked your relationship by showing weak behavior, start showing strong behavior. It's really that simple. Why are you calling me now? Yeah, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Give me a second. All right. Weak behavior. Yeah. Start doing strong behavior. What I want to know though, like since I want to help you out, like directly, what did you do particularly? What was the weak behavior? Let me know. Let's see. You think you can be that direct? You can be. It's just like again, there's there's a drawback to everything, especially with stuff like that. So be careful. Wait, your audio just got so much better. What did you do? I answered the phone call and came back. But yeah, shout out to the audio, I guess. What an early live. Yeah, I know, right, Nep? How important are first impressions? Not as important as second impressions, to be honest. Everyone says first impressions are the most important thing. They're subject to change. Like we as humans are lazy, right? We're intellectually lazy, so we like to tell ourselves, like stories or random phrases and cliches that we use as, rules of thumb, as shortcuts for psychological behavior. But if you really sit and think about it, does that really make sense? Really? Oh, first impressions are the... No, they're not. You've, in multiple occasions in your life, met someone, had an impression of them, found something out about them later, had a completely different impression of them afterwards. Does that make sense? Like you've had that happen to you multiple times. You've met that one student back in high school that you thought on first glance, oh, this guy's fucking lazy. He's not hardworking. He's a fucking slouch. And then you find out, oh, actually he's in the top 3 in his class. All of a sudden, that first impression you had, fucking gone. So, yeah, first impressions are not that important, not as important as second impressions. And what you really should be focused on is making sure you have a chance for that second impression. Because if you don't have a chance for that second impression, then the first impression is what they go off of, right? So, do with that information what you must. You think tension or fear is the most important thing in life, not just in game, but in general? Um, when you say most important thing in life, what do you mean? Because obviously it's not the most important thing in life, like not even close, but it is very like consequential. It is very pivotal. It's very important. It'll literally explain human behavior in general. Most people move off of their tension and their tension points and the fear they feel. So if you understand how tension works, you can essentially predict 99.9% of people's behavior very accurately. Because most people just move off of tension, they move off of fear. I mean, in the sense of the driving factor, yeah. If you want to look at it like that, absolutely. It's the most important thing in the world. In terms of like the major driving factor of most people. Most people move in accordance to whatever tension they feel. It was good, Nip. Where the knockout videos at, man? YouTube. Because can't put them on TikTok. Let's say you're with a girl that's a siren. Would it then make more sense to be a protector around her? Oh yeah, that's what they want anyway. Like that's what they prefer. That's what they're like attracted to the most. Sweethearts would always want and prefer more provider type. So keep that in mind. She told me she loves me, but wants to leave. Then I begged a lot, and it didn't work. Then I felt weak. You should have felt weak before you started begging a lot, but okay. You begged a lot. Gross. Ew. She's probably fucking another dude right now because you just look so pathetic. What you have to do right now, honestly, is you have to do something that shows a massive amount of strength in a very short period of time. I don't know what that'll look like for you because, again, I don't really know all the details. But she blocked me and gets touchy when I'm around other girls. Oh, well, there you go. Just be around other girls more. That's your path to victory. Be around other girls more. Be around other girls. It looks like that's working. So just do more of that. Yeah, but yeah, the whole begging her back thing, ugh. And at some point you have to say something to disparage what you did before. Like, this is another thing I'll teach you guys, like a little secret. Whenever you do something weak, you have to say something afterwards that nullifies what you did. So if I were you, in your case, I'd be like, you know what? I did look kind of corny trying to beg you back, even though deep down I knew that, we probably wouldn't work out anyway. Literally say that. At some point, say that to her so that you can, it's essentially a way to verbally cancel out what you did, Couple that with you doing more of the thing that works, right? Being around other girls, and you should be fine. He should join the waiting list for the group, but yeah, he needs to overcorrect, massive overcorrection, especially in this part. Like you beg a girl back. He should join the waiting list for the group, but yeah, he needs to overcorrect, massive overcorrection, especially in this part. Like you beg a girl back, ill. He should join the waiting list for the group, but yeah, he needs to overcorrect, massive overcorrection, especially in this part. Like you beg a girl back, ill. Oh, okay. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. All right. Oh no, I'm not lagging. I'm just replying to text real quick. Let's see. Do you think being selfish and greedy is a feminine trait? Tate said it's on a podcast. I don't. Okay, so being selfish and greedy. Oh, okay. Give me a second, guys. Oh, there we go. All right. Do you think being selfish and greedy is a feminine trait? No, not even a little bit. No, I think all human beings are inherently selfish and greedy anyway. So, I don't think it's necessarily a woman thing, although they are better at it, to be honest. Women are far better at being greedy and selfish, for sure. But yeah, if you understand how I think about greed and how I think greed works and how you should be greedy, it's one of the most selfless things you can do, even though it's one of the most selfish things you can do. But yeah, when you're uploading more TikToks to YouTube, well, I'm done with this one. Being selfish is definitely a good thing. I would assume he said that under a certain context. Yeah, he probably did. People always don't listen to context. It's important. But yeah, context is important. Let me know what the context is, though. Rich guy, average game, or broke guy, amazing game. In my experience, broke guy, amazing game clears every time. Every time. Every time. It's not even a matter of, like, ask those rich guys, like, literally ask them. Like, ask them. Who do they lose their girls to the most? Who, do they end up catching in bed with their girls? They'll tell you. They'll tell you. It's broke guy, amazing game. It's not even close. It really isn't. All being rich does is give you access to the woman. Being able to use the access is another thing. That's where game comes in. I would say have faith that you're confident but prepared to have something to also back it up. If you need something to back it up, then you're kind of missing the point of faith. That's like, faith is the evidence of things not seen. It's a substance of things hoped for, right? That's what the Bible says. Faith doesn't need physical evidence. That's kind of the point. Like, if it needs physical evidence, then it's not faith anymore. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. Easily broke guy in his game. See? Even Ryu gets it. Also, yes, you can use God to make money. What's your take on narcissism? I think it's not bad. Narcissism, first of all, scientifically speaking, is a very rare thing. My bad. My alarm is telling me that it's time for me to do something. But narcissism is not, like, it's a very rare thing. It's less than, 0.6% of the population. Not a lot of people are narcissistic. If it seems like every guy out there is narcissist or is a narcissist, according to women, it's because women just call any man they can't control a narcissist. That's really what it is. Women are misusing the word narcissist. No surprise there. They misuse most words. But yeah, whenever a woman calls you a narcissist, that's not a bad thing, man. It's a good thing. If anything, it's a compliment because it just means it's her way of saying you're not the compliant guy that she can get to do what she wants to do. That's all it means. It's not a bad thing. Let's see. Game is legit social skills. Yes. The girl I'm talking to now is scared that I talk to other girls. How do I deal with that? you tell her to deal with it. It's not for you to deal with. It's for her to deal with. It's not your fault that you talk to other. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself. Did you tell her that you're not talking to other girls? Because if that's the case, then her fucking anxiety is justified. If you want to talk to other girls, then you got to tell her you're talking to other girls. If you are talking to other girls, you know what I mean? Don't, like, you know, you're asking a reassurance question, which, by the way, I just uploaded a video about reassurance, so you might want to go watch that real quick. But for the most part, yeah, if you told her you're not talking to other girls and then she's suspicious of you, well, that's what comes with it. I'm sorry. Like, deal with that shit. Like, now you're going to have to reassure her to let her know that you are not doing those things behind her back that she doesn't want you to do. Figure that out. Mod requirements, you got to be a fucking staple in my life. You got to be someone that I see all the time that's willing to learn, that's asking good questions. Let's see. 32 Strategies of War is by Robert Greene. It's pretty interesting. How would you rank all the Robert Greene books? I think I've already done the ranking for that. Anybody got time for that right now? Welcome, Ibrahim. Ask your questions here. We will pin it. Okay, bet. Jace, I'm at work. Would be lovely if you could get back to me on IG DMs after them lives. Oh, yeah, sure, man. I got you. Oh, yeah. I don't know you talking about. Are you a mod yet? I feel like you should be a mod already. Hold on. I'm going to mod you right now. Congratulations. Congratulations. I don't know you talking about. Is a mod now. Yeah. Manage access. Did I do that correctly? There we go. Congratulations. I don't know you tell Mars a mod. He should be a mod. They don't believe it at all. They are trying to get us to believe it. Oh yeah, the trans people, yeah. Sirens or provocative girls give me more tension. Why is that and how should I handle it? It's the same reason why protectors give women more tension than providers. It's because they tap into what, on a biological level, men actually want, which is sexy women. Right? That's why they're sirens. They're fucking sexy. And that, you know, triggers your biology to recognize her as a significant event. So, yeah, that makes sense. Check WhatsApp, make a note of, okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, we gotta reschedule that call. By the way, how are you, by the way? I hope that hurricane at your ends didn't, you know, do anything too crazy. Who got game in Supercell? Who got game in Supercell? Michael has good game in the back end, I guess. But if I had to think about anyone with amazing game in the show, it's probably Crazy. Just about it. It's Crazy. Who else really has a good game in the show? Yeah, I would just say Crazy, honestly. The red pill thinking in me says don't deal with them at all, but I reject that idea. Oh yeah, the sirens. Listen, man. When men and women admit that there are things we respond to on a biological level, our lives will be a lot easier. You know, we've been taught to have a different set of rules from a societal standpoint, right? Don't like this type of girl because she has this, like she looks like this. Oh, she has fake tits. Oh, she has DSL lips. Oh, she has too many tattoos. Therefore, she's bad news. But there's a reason your dick gets hard when you look at that. There's a reason. And no, that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you filth. That doesn't make you... it's not an indicator of your character in any way. It's just biology. There are things about women who have a lot of sex appeal that are attractive. It is what it is. It's okay. I've been mobbed, but good looks regardless. Oh yeah, I bet. But yeah, you just have to admit to yourself that it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing when a woman has maxed out her sex appeal stats. Just like it's not a bad thing when a man has maxed out his sex appeal stats, right? They call those men fuckboys. That's what women call them. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be attracted to that. That's precisely why those stats are maxed out. They are attractive. all you have to do is move accordingly, understand the game, understand female nature, and if you want to incorporate a woman like that into your life, understand the things that will need to happen before that can be the case. You would have to increase her propensity to do the other things the other way. Which, again, in my experience, I've already told you guys, it's a lot easier to turn a hoe into a housewife than the other way around. It's only guys that have no fucking experience with women that think, oh, it's the hardest thing. Really? It's hard. It's hard to get a woman to go back to doing what she at her core wants to do, which is nurture and care. Right? Like, that's their nature. That's what they want to do. They want to nurture. They want to care. They only do the sex appeal thing artificially as a way to get themselves in a position to get someone that can be the person they want to nurture and care for. But ultimately, they lack discipline sometimes and they go to the extreme. But for the most part, telling a woman to do something that she's already naturally designed to do is the easiest thing to do in the world. That hoe or that bop wants to be, like, in her heart of hearts, a stay-at-home mom. She does. She fucking does. So it's not hard to get them to do that. How should I handle it or shift perspective around those women? Again, it's just, don't even have to shift any perspective. Or, okay, if you want to think about it like a shift in perspective, think about it like they're just a different font of the same woman. Like, they're all the same women. Like, sirens and sweethearts, they're all, like, they're two sides of the same coin, so to speak, right? It's the same woman. It's a different priority they have. That's all. Just like providers or protectors are the same man, but it's two different sides of the same coin. One guy prioritizes risk-taking ability and disagreeability and being able to do what they want and not care about the social norm and social conditioning. The other guy is the opposite. He cares about social conditioning. He cares about, fitting into the social groupthink and all that nonsense, right? So it's just the same person prioritizing different things. Beryl was a naughty hurricane. It hit the south hard. Wasn't too bad here. Light went for 4 days though. Oh, okay. At least everything's fine. Everything's okay. 4 days, you can survive that. That's nothing. In Nigeria, we would go months without electricity. So I'm guessing Jamaicans are just as tough. Let's see. But yeah, whenever you see a woman that's like provocative and a little promiscuous looking, it's not a bad thing. It's not an indication of her character. It's not anything like that. It's just a woman that's chosen to prioritize a certain reproductive strategy. That's it. That's all it is. Let's see. How can you approach in a country, my city, where 3 different languages are spoken? Ethiopian. If you speak all 3 languages, even better. Just talk to girls in whatever language, and then whatever language they do speak, switch to that language. Like, this is not a question at all. This is a non-question. Are you approaching women at all? Are you sure you're approaching women at all? I know you're not approaching women. I'm being facetious. I know you're not approaching women. Because when you start approaching women, it's not hard to just speak English to a girl and then she goes, no habla español, or I might be saying that correctly. It's like she says she doesn't speak English, she speaks Spanish. Then you just switch to Spanish. Like, duh. Like, just like that. Like, duh. It's not hard. It really isn't hard. She told me she already read that one. We are subject to change based on data. Data helps and influences, but it's really pain. Pain is the major changer in our behavior. Let's see. What are we talking about? Bully that made fun of him and got a girlfriend. Everything changed for him. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, TikTok removed your previous comment? That makes a lot of sense. Write it again. Could you speak more on how tension is a driving factor of human behavior? How can we use that, predict people? Put it like this. It'll take practice, but it's just understanding where the pain point is for people. Once you understand like how people, like where their pain points are and their tolerance for pain, it becomes very easy to figure out what they're gonna do next. Like, when you hear me talk about, and the reproduction strategy is just an adjustment, not her actual nature. she still wants the ideal. Exactly. And I'm happy you mentioned that, because here's another thing people keep forgetting. Like, not to cut you off your question, Ryu, but I got to address what Dimitri just said, because that's important. The same girls that are sirens for years end up turning into sweethearts at some point, depending on the situation they're in. If they're over the age of 30, they're looking to settle down, they're tired of doing the bop thing, what do? Boom, they change strategies. Now they're sweethearts. Right? You know how many girls I know that back in the day were the wildest bitches, and now they're like damn near pastors, right? They switch up the strategy. It happens. So you can't even like call that a character or anything like that. It's a reproductive strategy. It is what it is, and you can get them to change it if you get them to be compliant enough towards you. It's not a big deal. Now, as for attention being the driving factor for human behavior, pain point is what you got to focus on. Figure out what makes people the most uncomfortable. Again, it's not like people in general, but like, I mean, you could do it for people in general. Like an example would be how I was able to predict that Trump was going to win the first time around. It was very obvious. It was very obvious to me he was going to win the first time around, because everyone had a certain pain point under the Obama administration. They were looking for someone that would help them relieve that pain. And that pain was honesty. That pain was direct speaking. The thing about Obama is that he's a smooth motherfucker with a lot of charisma. But at some point, you got 8 years of that, everyone gets tired of the politicking. They get tired of the indirect talk. They get tired of the smooth talk and misdirection and all that stuff. They want someone that just shoots straight from the hip. And that's what Trump represented. So when Trump came on the scene, I knew he was going to win, because he's like, he helps people to relieve that psychological pain they had from the previous administration. Because all Hillary Clinton was going to be another 4 years of Obama. Nobody wanted that shit, so they put Trump in there. Now, in the same breath, you could predict that people are gonna or were gonna vote in Biden over Trump. Why? Because they were scared of Trump. They were scared of his reckless behavior and reckless ways. They were scared he was going to start World War III, even though he doesn't have the power to do that. They were scared he was going to do things to put America in a compromising position. And no one wants a lunatic in office, at least not long enough, right? Maybe long enough to keep them safe from the other lunatics, but not too long to where they start getting bored and start doing some actual lunatic shit. If we're honest, we see it in our moms and cousins. Yes, we do. But yeah, it's like, once you understand like what people are the most scared of, then you can understand like the direction they're gonna go in. Because when they're scared of something, they go in the opposite direction of that. You see how that works? It's very simple. It's very, very simple. It's also why it's very easy to predict female behavior in particular, because women are just the same way. Like when Dimitri talks about moms and cousins, like, yeah, you see it all the time whenever they make just about any decision. Right? If you grew up in a family that wasn't the most financially well off to do, you saw it in every time your parents decided what bill to pay, right? It was always a pain point with what bill to pay. Okay, which one can we afford to pay? Which one do we need to pay, like in terms of like our immediate comfort and convenience? Which one can we afford to not pay and keep off for another few months? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you hopefully you're not in this situation in your life, but you probably know what that feels like yourself. So it's all about pain points. Once you understand what pain people are willing to run away from, then all you got to do is figure out what the opposite direction of the pain that is, and boom, now you know where they're gonna go. Yeah, family. Let's see. What the hell, bro? Is Infinite Deathloop? Oh yeah, okay. TikTok is doing this. That's good, bro. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Gun? How you doing? How long have you been live? I don't know. Maybe an hour by now. Maybe not an hour. I don't know. How do I lose the nice guy mentality? You put yourself in a compromising position, and you do it on purpose. You go up to a woman and call her a bitch. It sounds crazy and corny, but literally it's one of the most liberating things you'll ever do. Let's see. Dimitri meant the mom and cousin thing with switching strategies, right? I mean, yeah, you see it with that, but also you see it with like, you know, with switching strategies, and also it also applies to like just the pain points, the way they move. Because that whole switching strategy thing, that too is like a pain point thing, you know? Why do women go from I'm gonna be a siren, I'm gonna go to every club, and I'm gonna fuck every guy under the sun to no, no, I'm a good girl and I'm looking for a husband and I love Jesus Christ? Why do they do that? What's the reason for that? Because they're trying to avoid pain. What's the pain? The pain of dying alone. So they switch up their strategy so they can have companionship. And they can use the companionship to alleviate themselves of the possibility of dying alone. You see? So even that is like something super predictable once you just look at where the tension is going. You feel me? Would you mind sharing more on your meditation routine? Maybe not right now. Because meditation is like one of those things, you know. Just work on your breathing. That's all I'll say. Like your breathing is the key to learning how to meditate properly. And then work on your breathing, work on your focus. Work on your breathing, work on your focus. Women have told me I'm not aggressive enough. How do I fix that without catching a charge? Also, do you put a woman in her place in a masculine way? Also, how do you put a woman in her place in a masculine way? I'll answer the second question because the answer to that second question is the answer to the first question, which is become more aggressive. Like if you can't, you're talking about women telling you you're not aggressive enough. You don't have enough aggression in you to put women in their place because that requires aggression. So let's solve the first problem, right? The fact that you said, how do I become more aggressive or how do I fix that without catching a charge tells me everything I need to know. Why are you scared of catching a charge? Why is that the fucking, the limit for you? Why is that the barrier? Because if you really think about it, like really think about it objectively, what would you need to do to catch a charge? You would need to do the fucking most, right? You would need to go like far beyond the confines of human rights to be able to catch a charge. Do you really think you need to be that aggressive to catch a charge? Okay, let me ask it a different way. Do you think telling a woman to shut the fuck up, for instance, is enough to put you in jail? Is that really what you believe? Like, come on. There's a lot of things you can do that are aggressive towards women without even getting close to catching a charge. So the fact that that's something you talked about, like that's something that came to your mind, already tells me you have an innate fear of standing up to women. I don't know why you have that fear. I don't know where it came from, but you need to get rid of that like ASAP. And I need you to go out there and offend as many women as possible for the next week. That's your exercise. I need you to walk outside and just start calling women bitches and hoes and getting into screaming and shouting arguments with women. That's what I want you to do. I want you to offend enough women to where it doesn't matter anymore. Because clearly it still does for you. If you like catch a charge, you sound like a toddler that a parent will be like, don't do that or else I'm going to call the cops on you. Like, remember when you were a kid and your parents were like, don't do that or I'll call the cops on you. Like, that's not real. The fuck? Oh, you're gonna say something to a woman, you're gonna get thrown in jail. That's not fucking real. What's wrong with you? Go and offend a bunch of women. Go and offend as many women as possible. In fact, start with the women in your family. There's a good chance it's starting with the women in your family. You're scared of them. So go start with them. Start with the women in your family. Start with your sisters. Start with your cousins. Start with your mom. Go offend them and offend them on purpose. Do it on purpose. You can't begin to, get other people's daughters to comply to you if you don't learn how to get compliance out of your actual family. I have the opposite problem, LOL. I got to figure out how to be less aggressive. That's a better problem to have, honestly. Way better problem to have. And that'll just come with finesse, understanding how to stop yourself from going too far. But it's better to go too far than not go at all. Hey, Jace, I can't afford your course right now, but I'm using your free stuff on YouTube my best. Please do. It's really amazing stuff, even the free stuff. Trust me. You'll get a lot of fucking value from that. You said to focus on one thought. What else do you do to enhance the experience? Breathe. You breathe. Focus on one thought. Breathe. And breathe like well. Here's how we do it. You take a deep breath for 6 seconds. You hold that breath for 6 seconds. You exhale for 6 seconds. I would usually do 7 seconds, but if you're starting out, you probably want to start with 4 seconds. So deep breath for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Let it out for 4 seconds. And then hold that for 4 seconds, and then breathe normally 4 seconds, or 10 seconds or so. then do that again. Do that for about 4 different cycles, and that should flood your brain with all the necessary hormones you need to enter that deep relaxed state. You feel me? Let's see. It means she loves you and she can't control you. Yeah, that's what narcissism means. You know you're on point when your mom reminds you you're the son and she's the mother. That's exactly what you need to be hearing out of her, by the way. You know, like that's like when they start trying to assert their authority over you, you know you're winning. That's exactly what you want to hear. I'm your mother. Good. That's because now you understand I'm a man. Respect that. That's good. Let's see. My girl kept saying she wanted me to be desperate for her. I fell for it and she dipped. Ha! Stupid. Hey, at least you learned, right? That's the oldest trick in the book, when a bitch tells you to be obsessed with her. Oh, God. I can't even feel sorry for you. I wish I could be like, oh, no, my God. This, like, you see, guys? Nah, this is fucking funny. That's hilarious. You fell for the oldest trick in the book, when a bitch tells you, I just need a guy that's obsessed with me. I just feel like relationships work better when the guy's more obsessed with the guy. You fell for that shit? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. As we speak, my mom and girlfriend are at my store operating it. Why? I sell them on our dream. Good, very good. Get them to work. Like hell yeah. Give them some purpose in life and get them to work. Get them to do some shit for you. My girl is literally upstairs right now, helping me render a video that I just got done editing. Hell yeah, get them to work. They love you. They'll do it. Let's see. Is all TikTok you took coming back? What are you talking about? Is all TikTok you took? I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that means. TikTok videos you took coming back. What TikTok videos did I take? I don't know what you mean. Let's see. What would you say is the most important thing in game? Tension, by far. The ability to manipulate tension, the ability to stick in the tension and survive it. That's important. So not just your ability to create it and sustain it, but your ability to survive it yourself. Cut him some slack. No. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. Like, it's 2024, bro. Someone was telling me, I can't remember who it was. They were trying to be a troll. They were like, all this information is free. Like, you don't have to pay for anyone's course. It's like, I'm not saying you have to pay for my course, obviously, but at the same time, if the information is so free, why the fuck aren't you using it? Like, it's 2024, bro. If you don't know by now that it's a bad idea to give women what they ask you for directly, like, come on, son. Like, whoa. I can't feel sorry for you. I physically cannot bring myself to feel sorry for you. I wish I could. It would probably make me a better teacher if I had more empathy. But I just, like, why? It's like, if you met someone that thought it was a good idea to charge their phone by leaving it in the toilet bowl. That's how I see it. It's like, are you that dumb? Like, come on. What are you doing? That's obviously gonna destroy you. Obviously. Like, what? It's 2024. If the information is so out there, fucking use it. Jesus Christ. My girl told me to be a... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. He a level 1 goon. Level 1 is crazy. But yeah, tension is by far the most important thing in the game. Like, not even close. Let's see. How should I handle it, or should I already answer that question, didn't I? Is having an amazing transformation in character and body in a short period of time very strong behavior? What about it though? I don't see the rest of the message if there is more. Are you asking if it's a good thing? It's not a bad thing. Put it like that. It's not a bad thing. The girl I'm talking to right now, I took her from a siren to sweetheart, but I feel like I took it too far. How do I sort of go back the other way while keeping her compliant? Oh, just do exactly what you did, but do the opposite. You know, you took her from siren to sweetheart because you took away some things. Like, think about it like this. It all comes down to adding and removing behaviors. So whatever behaviors you don't like that are too siren, either bring them down or remove them completely. And whatever behaviors that are too sweetheart, bring them down or remove completely. Whatever behaviors you want to see more of, you add. You add. So whatever thing you want her to do, tell her like, yeah, I like that. Do that. That'll turn me on more. That'll get me harder more. All that good stuff. You just have to let her know that it all comes back down to her willingness and ability to keep you happy. And trust me, if she's fucking with you, that's like her ultimate goal anyway. So that's how you add and remove behavior. Most of these hoes have a messed up childhood. Shit, there's a lot of women that are God-fearing Christians that have a messed up childhood too. It's not about a messed up childhood. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's this lazy thing we do as human beings. Like, oh, if X plus Y then equals Z. Like, it's not like that. It's not one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one correlation like that. There's a lot of women with messed up childhoods that didn't think it was a good idea to go out and try to fuck everything that moves, and then there's others that did. There's no correlation there. That's not what makes a woman a hoe. What makes a woman a hoe is her inability to have discipline around her choices. That's it. It's just discipline. It's a discipline issue. If she happened not to learn discipline as a child, that's one way to go about it. But she could have also learned discipline as a child, but as an adult, when she got her freedom, she began to view discipline as prison. So she got out of that discipline, and now she's a hoe. Like, it happens in many different ways. Trust me, if you hear anyone out there trying to give you like, oh, these are the top 5 songs she's a bop, they're lying to you. Like, this shit is more complex than that. I'm sorry. It's not that simple. All you got to do is figure out if you have the willingness and the time to put in to make the girl what you want. That's really all you got to worry about. Is a guy being jealous peak arousal for a woman? Zerka said this. Not jealousy per se, more like protectiveness. It's the protectiveness they like. It's not the jealousy, it's the protectiveness. They want to feel like you're so concerned about them that you're willing to do whatever. That's really what they like about it. It's like there's this big strong man that's willing to do whatever it takes to take care of me and look after me and make sure no one touches me or looks at me funny or anything like that. That's what they like. It's not so much so the jealousy itself, it's the protectiveness. Alright? Let's see. How do I sort of go? Oh, I read that one. How can you? Didn't I read that one? Yeah, I read that one. Jay Safa, how you doing, Demi? Is it a good idea to reach out to a babe once again after you've shown interest before? When you showed interest, did she show interest back? Or did she show disinterest? If she showed disinterest, then show her disinterest back. That's what you got to do. You got to reset it. Show disinterest, then compliance test. But yeah, in general, it depends on what happened before that. I love how women come for you when they can't make you bend to their frame. One just said, you sassy. I said, there's a woman in the comments calling me sassy. That's what they're supposed to do. It's probably a black woman. That's their forte. It's called people sassy. White women do it a different way, though. Hispanic women do it a different way, too. So you also see, like, the cultural differences in how different women of different cultures emasculate. It's very interesting. But yeah, black women, their thing is a sassy thing. And the reason their thing is a sassy thing, by the way, let me talk about that for a second, is because black men are essentially the epitome of masculinity in the world, right? So a black woman, in her mind, she thinks the best way to hurt a black man or to humble a black man is to tell him he's not as masculine as he should be. And that's why, if you notice, a lot of the time, black women are always, trying to call you sassy if you're a black man, or somehow relate things to calling you gay. Someone sent me a video, actually a few videos, when was it, like a month ago? Apparently white people, not white women, sorry, black women and I think some gay black dudes, it's always them, they're always in tandem bashing black men, it's very funny. They were coming up with a theory that the black dudes that date white women because they're less, like, they got a little bit of sassy to them. They're like somehow not as straight, or there's like a tinge of homosexuality in there. And I didn't make a video about it because I didn't think it was that big a deal. But it's that same kind of science behind it. It's like, listen, they're gonna try to get you to bend and do what they want you to do. You know what I mean? And that's just their forte. That's the method they use. It is what it is. Me personally, I don't give a shit. You know, I date who I want. So, you know, it's just a matter of understand the strategy being used, and then from there, you don't have to have like an emotional investment in it. It's whatever. Let's see. Approaching women isn't hard. How many approaches does it take to get to that point? Huh? How many approaching women isn't hard? How many? I don't even understand the question. Like to the point where approaching women isn't hard. Is that what you're asking? It depends on how many you're willing to do in a short period of time. It's not really the amount of approaches you do. It's how many you do in a short period of time. Because if I tell you go do 10 approaches, 10 approaches over the course of a year is never going to be as good as 5 approaches in the course of 30 minutes. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not the number of approaches. It's how many you're willing to do in a short period of time. See, that's what gets your, you know, that's what desensitizes you to approaching in general. And the reproduction strategy is just, oh yeah, I read that one. Go out and start exposing yourself to it. Yes, well done. I don't know all the languages. Google Translate. Google Translate is your friend. Most of communication is 80% body language anyway, so I don't know why people complain about, oh, you don't speak the same language as her. Bruh, if she's attracted to you and you're attracted to her, you can fuck her. I don't care if you don't speak the same language. It'll happen. Does your brain translate some English or Spanish words into your native language for you to understand? No. I've heard someone ask me a question like that before, by the way. That's not how it works. If you speak multiple languages, that's not how it works. Like even this, it's like the same with using accents. Do I think about sometimes how I would have to say a word in an American accent that's like different or similar to my Nigerian accent? No, not necessarily. It's just something. It's like a tool you plug in and now you're using it. So I'm speaking to you like this in my American accent, but very easily I can also switch to my Nigerian accent anytime I want to. I don't really have to think about it. I don't have to, oh no, these words are very confusing. No. I just start speaking like this. Like I'm in front of my friends and family. I'm in Nigerian. I'm as Nigerian as it gets. I was born and raised in Las Gidi. Las Gidi till I die, baby. You know, so it's not very difficult. And then whenever I want to switch back to this, then I can switch back. It's not something that I have to think about, or oh, I got to do this little thing first. And nah, it's you go to Nigerian, come back to American whenever I want. That's how it works. Those women are secretly homophobic. Oh yeah, for sure. Which I find very funny. Those are the same women that like to, you know, pretend like they're gay men or support gay rights. But the first thing they do is use homosexuality as a weapon. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, the reason you don't hear me talk about stuff like that all the time is because I just genuinely don't care. Those aren't the women I want anyway. I like high quality women. I like very beautiful, attractive women. And the women I like would honestly be embarrassed if they heard me talking about shit like this. Like, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. Like, they exist on such a different planet. So all those kind of talks, like the women I like are so fucking attractive, they don't have to resort to emasculating men to control them. Does that make sense? Like, I'm gonna say that again because I need y'all to catch this. The women I like the most desirable women, are so fucking attractive, they don't need to resort to trying to emasculate men to get men to do what they want. They're just hot. So they get men to do what they want regardless. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, watch the trigger words, gentlemen. TikTok all goes savage. True. We should all be like, you know, careful with that. TikTok is out here, you know. But yeah, just to really emphasize on that. Because the same thing exists with men. You've heard, you know, certain men of my hue talk about how, oh, they only date this type of woman, black queens forever, snow bunnies never, and all that kind of stuff. They love those things they like to say, right? Here's what those men don't understand. When you're attractive, when you're actually attractive, you can date whoever the hell you want. That's kind of how it works. It's kind of how being attractive works. You know what I mean? So it's not, it's not impressive to say stuff like that. You know what I mean? Jace, every few seconds your live lags and then continues. I don't know if that's a you thing or a me thing. Is that for everybody or just him? Let me know. Let's see. Do younger women like beards? It's not a younger or older woman thing. It's a type of woman thing. The women who like beards are the most feminine women. The most feminine women like the most masculine looking men. That's just the general rule to it. The more feminine she is, the more masculine she requires her man to be. And so a beard is like, it was funny. I was literally talking about this last night with my bitch. She was literally talking about the same thing. How when she was more, in her masculine, before I met her, she would date guys that were clean shaven all the time, like clean shaven, short hair, this and that, maybe like the odd feminine tattoos and stuff like that. But then she ran into me, and now her life has changed, obviously. And now she's like always on my beard. Like that's why we were even talking about it. She was like tugging on my beard too much. I'm like, get the fuck off my beard, leave it alone. But yeah, that's just how it works. The more feminine she is, the more masculine she requires her man to be. It's not a young or an old thing. Let's see. Should the body count of other women matter to men when meeting a babe? Of other women? Huh? Like the women you meet? Is that what you're talking about? The body count doesn't matter as much as her chances of running into the guy that she's still imprinted by. I would worry more about if she's still imprinted by someone else than her body count. That's a way more important question to ask. I mean, not that you should ask, are you imprinted? They probably don't even know what that means. But you want to make sure that there's no guy she's still obsessed with and hoping she can get back in her life. That's the most important thing. Let's see. Do I really need the interview light? Online purchase doesn't work in our country. You need it if you need to accelerate your learning, but you don't need it if you're willing to just like put in like the good 1 or 2 years to get past that initial, the awkward phases of learning game. Live been uploaded to YouTube? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I'm 5'11". Is that height good? Stop asking anyone if your height is good. Don't be a pussy. Oh, is it good though? Is it like, come on, you're better than that. Decide it's good and move with that confidence. Oh, it's 5'11". I don't know if it's good. Shut up, fucking pussy. Decide it's good and move with that confidence. Oh, it's 5'11". Am I good now or no? Let me know. There we go. All right, we should be good. I'm so confused. What should I do? As for your friend zone situation, what I would do if I were you is tell her, yeah, you want to be friends. Yeah, just stay in the friend zone for like a few good seconds. At some point, she's gonna do something that is very disrespectful, as all women do. This is how they work. They don't respect men that they're friends with, so they're gonna do something that is slightly overt. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? One in the chat. Let's go. Oh, ye of little faith, I am back. Like the second coming of Jesus. I'm back, bitches. Where were we? Here, see? Good, good. Oh, you can close it. We don't need it. When you texted me, that was when it died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
Actually, no, I don't know.
Was it like the?
Because I walked up to it and it was dead.
Oh,
So
fine.
it could have died before.
That's fine. You did good, babe. Mwah. All right. Hide and seek is crazy. Nah, it's not my batteries or anything. I just have to move. Anyway, let's see. We're all good though now, right? We're all straight. We're all smooth. We're all sexy. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to this. Call everybody back. Let them know I'm here. Let's see. Okay, let me go back to answering questions. I'm gonna go back up because I know I missed a few. Let's see. All right, I read that one. There we go. Oh, I'm not even seeing the older ones. Okay, TikTok took those away. Oh well. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to start here. If you wrote anything down before, you might have to write it up again. Sorry, because TikTok took away all the upper messages. But I can see Dimitri's messages here where he's like, "Can we get the likes up? Please do. Appreciate that. It's all free value. Might as well just give me free likes in return." You know, those women are secretly homophobic. Yeah, the women we were talking about. Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are. That's why they use homosexuality as emasculation. Thanks, my guy. She showed interest, but she was hesitant because she thought I was a player. Oh, she didn't trust you. Oh. Well, are you a player? Let's start with that. Let's be honest with ourselves now. Are you a player? It's not that you can't be one. It's just be honest about it. If you are one and you're not honest about it, and then she finds out you're not honest about it, then that kind of fucks you over in the long run, now doesn't it? So think about that. TikTok can't even let me say yes in peace. That's crazy. Good to see up and active again. I've always been up and active. Your boy's just been doing stuff in the background. Let's see. Missed you. Pause. Missed you too, bro. Pause. Let's see. Go to YouTube and check out my book recommendations if you want to know what books to read. I have an entire book recommendations list over there. What's on the book recommendation? The Mystery Method by Eric von Markovic. Sperm Wars, Robin Baker. Those I would say the two most important books there. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, 50 Cent. You want to read The 4-Hour Work Week for stuff like productivity. Atomic Habits is also pretty good. Let's see. Art of Seduction, not a bad read. The Alabasta Girl, Zamparion. Shout out to him. Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. Very good book. Very, very eye-opening book. And then, oh yeah, definitely read The Irrational Male Preventive Medicine by Rollo Tomasi. Very good book. Ooh, Way of the Superior Man, David Data. Those are some really fucking good books to start with. Start with those, go from there. I know YouTube will never treat you like this. It's funny. Hey, Kofi, what's going on? Okay, you'll be done in 30 minutes. I'm guessing you're here now, right? I disappeared. Unfortunately, I did, but I'm back. It's all good though. It's good now. Good. We jinxed it. It's starting again. You guys jinxed it. You did. Do I need isolation to come up with a plan, openers, Nah, you just need to practice. You don't need isolation to come up with a plan for those. I would say isolation is for extreme cases. It's like, it's for a complete reset. You know what I mean? That's what isolation is for. I suggest everyone needs that complete reset at some point, because you don't understand how much you're being flooded with like unnecessary dopamine and serotonin spikes on a daily basis. You need that complete reset so you can now be the kind of person that moves towards your goals a lot easier. So just something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna do isolation, and I've told myself all I'm doing 3 to 6 days is watching your content. That's gonna help with the internalizing of the game. It's gonna help. It's definitely gonna help. But I'd rather you focus on yourself in terms of like your own self-image. Does that make sense? You're going into isolation for a skill. You're not quite ready to do that yet. For your first one, you should just go in for yourself in terms of like the image you want to build for yourself in your head. Let's see. It was going on, Oscar. It has been a while. I'm back though. What parts of game are used in sales? I definitely know objection handling and rewarding are part of how game works. Yes, but like all game is sales, and all sales is game. Like, it's not what parts, it's all of it. The difference is the words that are being used, but it's essentially the same thing. When we talk about building tension in game, in sales, that'll be called hitting the pain point, right? That'll be called exaggerating the problem, right? Or emphasizing or magnifying the problem, right? When we talk about closing the sale, that's just seduction in game. When we talk about finding things that are the benefits of the product to the customer, or having a message that the audience resonates with, that's just building comfort. It's the same thing. It's just different terminology to it. It's the exact same thing, because whether it's with women or with a customer, you're trying to convince people to do something that ideally benefits them more than it benefits you, right? So it's the same thing. Let's see. Can you say the book recommendations again? I just joined. Go to my YouTube. It's literally all on my YouTube. Type in on your YouTube search bar, Just to Pick Up Scientist book recommendations. You'll see all the books pop up. Almost missed a life, but you didn't. You didn't. Indeed, I am. She saw me talk to other women, told her I flirt, and it's part of my personality. And then what did you say after that, though? And you told her it's part of your personality? Okay, that's good. All right, that's fair enough. From that point, it's just about reassurance, which, by the way, I just put out a video on, so go watch that. First date mechanisms, that's what the interview light is for. We were talking about the friend zone and how women don't respect, that's where it cut off. Oh, my bad. Okay, let me talk about that. Because someone was in the chat talking about how, what were they saying? Something. Everything was going well, and then all of a sudden she's asking him to be friends, or she just wants to be friends. Here's why things like that happens. It's because people forget that the major emphasis of relationships is going to be tension. There has to be tension in it. What makes the relationship fun, unpredictable, exciting is the fact that, it deviates from the norm. It's not standard. It's not average. So whenever you hear people say, oh, everything was going fine in the relationship, that right there is your cue to know nothing is fine in the relationship. Nothing is fine. I'm not saying it's always supposed to be chaotic, but it can't all be mundane either. It's going to be boring. It's going to die very quickly, right? Even like, this is probably reckless advice I'm giving, but I'd rather your relationships be completely chaotic than boring. Like, you can do anything to a woman, but you cannot bore her. That is a standard rule in the game. You cannot. You will die in the water. You know what I mean? So, whenever you feel like, oh, the relationship is going fine, that's when you should be panicking. Something's off. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. You feel me? You always need some kind of reason to keep fighting for it, you know? If the reason isn't there, it's just gonna die. Hold on, Jay, scroll up, you missed hella questions. I know, that's what I was saying. Like, a bunch of them just kind of disappeared, so you might have to type them again. 3 openers to begin with, I'm gonna start approaching. Nope. Nope. Go and approach. That's your challenge. Give me 3 approaches, I'll give you 3 openers. Yeah, that's how we doing around here. Yeah. I don't throw pearls to swine. That's not what I do over here. No. You got to show me your seriousness. What kind of, I'm going to start approaching? No. Go and approach. Show me proof of your approaches. Then we can talk about giving you some openers to help refine you. Because that's all openers are for anyway. They're there to help you refine the art of starting conversations from scratch. That's all they're for. All right? So eventually, when you get good at talking to women, it's not going to be openers anymore. You're just going to walk into situations and use the situation as your opener. Does that make sense? They're just crutches right now. They're just like, training wheels, but they're not something you're meant to, rely on. You should rely on yourself. So give me some approaches, and I'll give you openers. You gave me homework before I buy the interview approach. 3 women a day. I do Uber. Does that count? Nope. No, it does not. Also, what is my goal with these women? To get them to bed, or should I just focus on something else? Literally just talk to them like a normal human being. You have no agenda. Just talk to them. And also, Uber doesn't count. Nope. Does not count. Does not count. Why doesn't it count? Very simple. Because they're coming to you in that situation. You need to go to them. You need to go meet them out in the wild, outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. What are some ways to sprinkle chaos, attention, and long-term cheating, having other women? What else? Even those are like extreme. What you should just focus on is like the little things in the relationship, like making sure that she has some reason for competition anxiety, making sure that she has some reason for some kind of anxiety that revolves around how unpredictable you are, in terms of like her place, stance, and position in the relationship. If you can jolt those pillars, you're doing good. You never want those pillars to be firm. The moment they get firm, they get comfortable. The moment they get comfortable, they get familiar. And familiarity breeds contempt. So you want to be careful with that. Joe Biden versus Trump. Who's the protector? Who's the provider? Trump is a protector type. Biden is a provider type, obviously. Duh. That's self-explanatory, isn't it? Open your eye here, my friend. It kind of is, yeah, you're right. You send it to my IG. Send all your proof of all your stuff, all the work you're doing to my IG. Let me know. Let me see. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm about to leave soon. Ask me your last questions before I bounce. Also, is Kofi here? Is he back yet? Jason, is it a bad thing to not experience empathy for people? Very bad thing. Are you kidding me? Terrible thing. You probably don't want to go so overboard with it that, all of a sudden you're a people pleaser, but no, it's a bad thing. You don't want to become that. You don't want to go that far into supervillainy. I mean, that's essentially what psychopathy is, right? You're too far in the deep end. You're too far gone. There we go. Any back end airdrop for today? No, because what do you want? You got to be specific. That's a vast topic. What do you want? What are you trying to do? Let me know. He said he'll live working a few. Okay, I'll wait till he gets here, and then I'll be here for a little bit, answer his questions, and then I'll bounce. How do you develop more empathy? Do something selfless. Do something truly selfless. All right. Empathy is developed by putting others ahead of yourself. All right. So if you do something that doesn't benefit you at all for other people, you're building your empathy up. Do something selfless. Like literally, it's very easy too. Go to volunteer at a homeless rehabilitation center or a kitchen. Give away a significant portion of your income to a cause you believe in. And don't tell anyone about it either. Like that's the key to it. Is like benefit nothing. Not the clout, the praise, nothing. Benefit nothing. Don't even benefit in terms of like the write off on your taxes you can get. Benefit nothing. Just give and give freely. That's how you develop empathy. In that manipulation course, you had a disclaimer about anyone under 25 using the methods. Yes, because young people are reckless. Young people are fucking reckless, and they end up hurting themselves more than they hurt others. My girl helped me a lot in this area. She actually enjoys helping me with empathy. Oh yeah, sure, man. Like I would say I actually learn empathy from women, for sure. Because they force you to learn empathy because you can't be all 100% selfish. It's better to be selfish most of the time, but you can't be 100% selfish all the time because then there's no room for a relationship, you know? So yeah. Take care of an animal, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I do that all the time, LMAO. I don't believe you. Dope. If you're having troubles with empathy, then there's something wrong with what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing, specifically, that is so selfless of you. Let me know. And I'll tell you if you're actually doing it or not. By giving, you shall receive. You will find that happiness comes from giving more than taking. It does. It really does. There's something to be said about giving the best of yourself, even when it's not required of you to. You know? Something very spiritual about it, almost. Very important. In your breakup course, you speak on having the frame of acting like you just had sex with her. Can you go more into detail? And is that something you should do all the time? When I say that, that's, again, you need to have the context for that. That's not something to just do every time. That's once you've actually gotten to the point where you can meet her again. Again, if you've gone through the entire course, you know what I'm talking about. Once you've gotten to the point where you can meet her again consistently, then you can have that kind of frame around her and you where it's like she knows and she can feel the energy like you two like never broke up. That's what I'm talking about. But again, it's a very specific thing. It's not just a general thing. It's a very, it requires a lot of context. And if you don't have the course, then that probably doesn't even apply to you at all, you know? Make a note of the WhatsApp follow-up because I know you're a busy guy. I will. Hold on. Let me get my phone. There we go. All right. The live lag for me. Can you answer again? What was the question you asked? I don't remember. I'll give it a shot though. Maybe it's not the telling other people. Yeah, don't use it as social currency at all. Change venue on us. We know what kind of man you are. That's funny. Change venue, you said. I've been hanging around with this girl and I feel like everything was going good. Oh yeah, you. Okay. Until she told me she wants to be friends. Okay, so the answer I gave you is you assumed everything was going good, but it wasn't going good. You gotta remember when things are nice and boring and predictable in your relationship, that's when you should be panicking the most, because good relationships run on a bit of chaotic energy, not a lot, a bit. You need some tension, you need some unpredictability, you need some excitement. You can do anything to a woman, but bore her. Very important. That's the answer to your question. Updates on digital pre-selection. I'm happy you asked. Oh, I can't even. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm happy you asked that. I'm literally uploading the last of it right now. So yeah, there you go. That's your update. A few more videos and it's up, baby. Jay's people say beating yourself is the worst advice pertaining to talking to girls, but I disagree. I disagree too. Beating yourself is ultimately the best advice. It's the only advice you really need. The problem with the advice is that no one gives it in context. The real context for that advice is that if you're going to be yourself, you got to remember that there's a price to pay for it, right? You can be yourself all you want, but don't act like being yourself gets you accepted. In fact, let me put it like this, and this is something I literally had to talk to someone recently on TikTok about. If you're actually being yourself, you're going to get a lot of hate for it. Because that's what comes with authenticity. When you're being truly authentic, being true to yourself, a lot of people are going to hate you for it. For different reasons. Some will hate you because they're jealous that they can't do what you can do. Some will hate you because you make them feel inferior in some type of way. Their insecurities are flared up because you're the kind of guy that doesn't have the same insecurities they have. But the vast majority of them will hate you simply because they disagree with who you are. Right? They authentically disagree with who you are. And of course they do. Because when you're being authentic to yourself, you're being someone that isn't relatable to others. No, like, relatability is a human illusion we came up with. It's not real. There's very few things the average person or average people relate to each other on. Maybe certain shared experiences throughout their day, certain things within their mundane routines, like maybe their commute, certain niche type of things that go on in their lives that's very similar. Like, oh, have you ever walked into a room and forgotten what you walked in there for? Like, we've all had that before. Like, cool. But the core, deep essence of what we are is very different usually. Very, very different. Or at the very least, we have our own different niches when it comes to that. And what just being yourself really is sticking to your niche as hard as you want to, as hard as you can. Right? It's being the guy that likes anime even though people tell you it's lame. It's being the guy that has a very weird way of thinking about the world, even though others are going to disagree with you. And we all have these weird quirks and things about ourselves that are truly authentic to who we are, that most people are just scared to put out. That's the thing. That's why just being yourself is the best advice, and also the advice that most people just can't follow to save their own lives. You know? No one's ready for the backlash that comes with being yourself. I mean, I am. I'm a great example of just be yourself. If you want a good example of just be yourself, literally me. Like, duh. No one would do what I can do or what I do on a daily basis if they knew what came with it. Like the backlash, the comments, the hate, the people trying to make jokes or light of what you do. Like, that's all part, like people telling you you're incorrect or you don't know what you're talking about, even though I literally have like a mountain load of evidence that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, it's going to happen if you're like willing to put yourself out there authentically like that. But are you though? Are you? Are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you willing to risk the social isolation that comes with that? Me personally, I'm comfortable in it. I don't give a fuck, but you know, you figure that out for yourself. Funny thing is, women. Nip kind of overrode your message, Dimitri. Have you ever gotten threats on your existence, TikTok censor? Oh yeah, for sure, all the time, like all the time, and it's always from the guys you expected. Like, I keep telling you guys, if you go in my comments and watch, you know, the comments of the people that, you know, don't say the nicest things to me, the first thing you always have to do is look at their profile. Let's look at just one time. Look at it. Till this day, I've never seen any of them that I'm impressed by. None of them. You never get hate from above. You get hate from below. So even when on a social level it might look like someone is giving you hate from above, if they have to hate you, they're beneath you. Does that make sense? So, yeah. Funny thing is, women will genuinely love it only if you believe it, though. Yes. And that's the irony to it. Like, do you want to be liked by a lot of women, or do you want to be loved by a few very desirable ones? That's the choice you're making. You can be the vanilla guy that doesn't offend anybody and just repeats back to society what it wants to hear, and have a lot of sevens really like you. Or you can be this guy and have the majority of women be like, that guy's an asshole. But then you have a 10% of women that are the most desirable women that like not only just like you, but like fucking like obsessed with you. Like they're willing to change their lives for you. That's the options. I chose the second because it's way better over here, in my opinion. Anyway, but yeah, I've gotten all those kind of things. It's whatever. I probably get them like a good amount, maybe 3 or 4 a week or something like that. People just like, oh, you this and that will happen to you, that and this, and it's just like, how miserable is your life for you to even think to do that? I would never think to, oh, I hate someone so much, I'm gonna go threaten their lives. I don't care about anyone that much, except myself, obviously. You know? Let's see. Oh yeah, I read that one too. It's good. Is giving comfort correlated to empathy? In a way, because it takes empathy to understand the other person enough to know how to give them comfort. You know what I mean? So, in a way. Currently reading The Courage to be Disliked. I love what you preach, Jace. Oh, that's a great book, by the way. Shout out to The Courage to be Disliked. Shout out. That's a great book. And thanks for loving what I preach. I appreciate that. It's not an easy message to preach, but you know, someone's got to do it. Might as well be me. I asked this question earlier, but I'll rephrase it. Okay, go ahead. Jason's resonated with me so much when you said that God, the universe, will put you through trials for you to conform to become the person that is worthy of getting the blessings you want. Yes. And that is what I tell you before, what I said before, that is the difference between getting a gift from God and getting a gift from Satan. Right? When you ask God for something, he puts you through the necessary process, the painful process, of all the changes you need to make to be deserving of what you're asking for. When you ask Satan for it, he just gives it to you straight up. Why does he do that? Because he knows it'll destroy you, because you're not ready for it. Right? Do you always give a kid whatever the kid wants? If God is our Heavenly Father, do you not think he'll know as a father what we should and shouldn't have, and when we should and shouldn't have it? You wouldn't put your car keys in the hands of an 8-year-old. Why? Because you know they're not ready for that. You're not ready to wield that kind of power. They would probably hurt themselves badly in the process if they tried to, drive that car, right? So you make the kid go through the very painful process of learning how to drive, getting their nerves under control when they're on the road, not being scared of the highway so they can drive through that as much as they want. Just being a good driver and being respectful of other drivers on the road. And then only after they've gone through all those trials and tribulations do you then go, here, keys in your hand. That's how God treats us. Satan, on the other hand, he gives the car keys to the 8-year-old. You see? And that's why people need to understand how the law of attraction works. That's why I was saying in that video I made that one time, the secret was misinformation propaganda. It really was. It did a lot of disservice, in my opinion, because it made people think that you just think happy thoughts and amazing things will happen to you, and you can manifest that thing you wanted. It's like, if you want that thing, you got to be ready for it. You got to be deserving of it, and it takes pain to become the kind of person. Stop distracting me. Oh, walk around half naked, probably. You see, that's Satan distracting me. I I was just preaching. God damn it, gonna put titties in my face. Anyway, but yeah, the devil puts in your hands things that you're not ready for. That's how it works. You got to be deserving of what you want. You can't just manifest it here. It's gonna come with trials and tribulations. It's gonna come with tests. You got to have the license for it. See, that's a good way to put it. But yeah, let's see. When the girl I'm talking to was a siren, she was also defiant and disrespectful. That comes with it. That comes with being a siren. Yes, that makes sense. I think martial arts as well makes you more empathetic. Oh, hell yeah. The irony okay, hold on. It depends on who you are. Because martial arts is just a tool. If you're an empathetic person, it'll make you more empathetic. If you're not an empathetic person, it'll make you more dangerous. You know, I've seen both, you know. Hell, I've seen both of myself. So if you're naturally someone that cares about the well-being of other people, then you'll use martial arts in that way. If you're someone that's super selfish and just doesn't give a fuck, then you'll also use martial arts in that way. So, you know, it depends. Jay's I already read that one. Wagwan Marvin, how you doing, man? You realize you can harm people and vice versa. True. So then I checked her and it removed that negative behavior, but it also stopped her from being a siren entirely, and she just became a sweetheart. Nah, that's not how it works. If you're correlating defiance with siren, and that's not necessarily the case. Sirens are some of the most compliant women ever, literally. It's not a matter of, you know, because you got to think about it like this. What is the difference between a protector and a provider type? Risk-taking ability. Ultimately, that's what it is, right? What's the difference between a siren and a sweetheart? Sex appeal. That's really all it is. The defiance will come as a result of the sex appeal and what it can afford her. And that's why she would act like that on average. But once you tell her you're not the kind of guy to act like that with, she'll stop. That doesn't necessarily make her a sweetheart, right? And if anything, you kind of want her to be a sweetheart when it comes to giving you compliance. That's not a bad thing. Like, what we complaining about here for? Oh no, my girlfriend does what I want her to do. Like she's laughing. Like, oh no, she does exactly what I tell her. No, like, what we doing right now? What we complaining about? You got a sexy girl that does what you want to do. You're happy. Accept your happiness. Like, some of y'all just have to have the self-esteem to accept when good things happen to you. You know? It's okay. It's not a bad thing. Let's see. Martial arts humbled me and made me feel more powerful. It always starts by humbling you, though. I'll always remember my first day of jiu-jitsu. I got my ass whooped by a 5'7" Mexican dude. Chubby Mexican dude. He whooped my ass. I must have tapped out, I want to say 7 times in the space of 8 minutes. First of all, putting a newbie on an 8-minute sparring session is wild. Shout out to Sensei Squirrel. You're a bastard, but I love you. Holy shit. But yeah, that was an interesting day. He clapped my cheeks. Pause. I'm a 6'2" black guy. At the time, too, I was pretty heavy. I was like 215, maybe scratching 220. It was big. It was heavy. I walk around a lot less than that right now, but holy shit. He came in there, he said, I want to spar with you. Because they were, breaking us up into groups. And there's the white belts over here, the blue belts over here, the purple belts, brown belts. There's a black belt, sensei, and all that. And he's like, split into groups, blah, blah. It was no gi, too, so we didn't even necessarily know all our belts. We were just saying shit. And I was like, I guess I'm a white belt. It's my first day. And then this random blue belt, this chubby Mexican guy, shout out to Eric, he just points at me. He's like, yeah, I want you. What's your name? I'm Jason. What's your name? You'll know it by the end of this match. When he said that, I knew I was in trouble. I said, what's your name, to be nice? And he said, you'll know it by the end of this match. And I never forgot it. I never did. That person in question, by the way, is now a purple belt, and he's gone on to win Naga Nationals. So, yeah. We got some killers in my gym. Holy shit. Blue belts are bullies. Yes, but let me tell you something. It's necessary. Think about it. Imagine I just went into jiu-jitsu and I didn't have an experience like that. I would be the most cocky motherfucker that you've ever seen. Mind you, I went on to win my very first jiu-jitsu tournament. Well, I didn't win silver medal, but still, like, who medals their first tournament ever? I do, apparently. And I'm like in the top, 1% of people that do that? So, shout out to that ass whooping. It made me better. And all the ass whoopings I got after that. Like, the day before my first tournament, I got my ass whooped severely. Severely, by a brown belt. So it's important. You gotta keep the white belts humble, man. It's very important. Very fucking important. So how do I introduce her being the siren again, but only certain elements? Do I just tell her I find her attractive that way? You're being too complex about it. She's already doing everything right for you. Any behavior you don't like, correct as you go. It's okay. It's okay. If you want to, I would honestly just focus more on encouraging the behavior you want to see. Right? What do you want to see more of? The sex appeal? Good. Encourage her in that way. There must be chaos. Not too much now, but yeah. Why do you think most women say when they're abused by a male, Crazy from Supercell? Stay. Why do they stay? Well, it's a combination of a few things. But I think the underlying reason is just the lack of self-esteem. When she feels like she's not worthy, then she'll feel like she's not worth it. So she'll feel like that bad treatment is what she deserves, you know? Is there a proper way to pray to God? Yes. Yes, there is. Interesting question. Okay. Didn't I already talk about this before? But put it like this. God is spirit, right? You cannot communicate with spirit in a physical way. This is where most Christians go wrong. This is where most Muslims go wrong. This is where most everybody go wrong. Is they think they can communicate with a spiritual being via physical means. That is false. That is unequivocally wrong as fuck. All right. In order to, even the Bible says, I can't remember where, but it says to pray in spirit and in truth. Right? There's a reason it says that, because you cannot communicate with a spiritual being in a physical manner. Now, what does it mean to pray in spirit? Well, simple. You have to speak from the point of your being that is spirit, because you are spirit. You are primarily spirit. You have a soul. You live in a body. This is what people don't seem to remember, right? We talk about demon possession a lot. Do you realize you're possessing your body right now? That's what you're doing. You're a spirit that's possessed this body. Really think about that. You're doing what you accuse demons of doing, which is possession. But you're doing it right now. I mean, you're doing it unconsciously by accident, but you're doing it. That is what you are. You're a spirit. How do you communicate as a spirit to a spiritual being? Well, you go to the spiritual realm. That's what meditation is all about. That's what meditation is for. That's what, all those different forms of like monk-like meditation, prayer, self-hypnosis, all that good stuff that forces you to go into your subconscious. That is what it's for, because that is what the subconscious is. It is the bed of imagination. And what we call imagination is really just the fourth dimension. That's all it is. Everything that we see in that realm exists in that realm. We just, we've fucked up our use of the word imagination. Like, we don't even know how to use the word imagination. We use the word imagination for so many different things that doesn't even make any sense. But the point is, in order to speak to a spiritual being, you have to talk to a spiritual being in a plane that they exist in. Go to the spiritual realm, talk there. Right? If you do not meditate and focus on the things of God, then I can almost guarantee you've never actually spoken to God. You've never once had actual communication, direct or indirect, with God. Because God doesn't speak like, we talk about, we say God speak, or God spoke to me, or God doesn't speak English, bro. Does that make sense? That's not how spirits communicate. This language we speak, this is pretty much man-made. This is what we came up with. This is not a God type of communication. God communicates through vision, primarily. And the only way to see vision is to enter your subconscious, aka the fourth dimension, aka the spiritual realm. You see what I'm saying? So everything you do that leads you towards entering that realm is leading you closer to speaking to God. That's how you pray. And you must go to him how he wants to be approached. Don't forget that part. To try to talk to God in a way that he doesn't want to be talked to is to try to force yourself on him. Should I say pause there? I feel like I have to say pause there. But yeah, that's the general gist of it. On the way to the pub, come on England, come on England, come. What's that one chant that I like so much? What do we think of Tottenham? Shit. What do we think of shit? Tottenham. Thank you. That's all right. We ain't Tottenham. We ain't Tottenham. We ain't Tottenham. The English got the chants on lock, bro. They're fucking great. Shout out to England. It's going to be English versus Spain, and England will win due to Jude Bellingham 2-1 or penalties. Called it here first. Shit, I'm not even keeping up with that. Hold on. England versus... Who the hell is on Spain? Who's on the Spanish squad? Who is on the Spanish squad? Let me see. English versus Spain. What's going on there? Let's see. So what's the general frame that you can have that makes you the most attractive to women? If I were to summarize it, I would say the best one to have. What would be the best one? The best frame. Because it's a combination of many, but if I had to pick out one, I really can't pick out one. I'll be doing you a disservice to pick out one. Honestly. Why do we call God him even though we know the Father is genderless? Is it because his son is a man? We call God him even though he's genderless, really because of our own human understanding. It's a way to make it easy for us. Because imagine we start calling God genderless all the time. That confuses a lot of, like, not to sound condescending, that confuses a lot of low-level thinkers. Let's call them that. She's giving me the thumbs up. That confuses a lot of people that, just don't know how to think, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's why we call him. Even though God is spirit. Spirits have no gender. So, yeah. The only thing that has gender is the physical, is this plane of existence, the 3D realm. That's where you get that duality. This is the realm of duality. Duality doesn't really exist in other realms. It's all meshed into one, all at the same time. Right? We have a forward, backward, up, down, left, right. We have past, present, future, length, width, height. That all exists in the 3D realm. That doesn't exist in the higher realms. It just doesn't. It doesn't work that way. But saying something like that confuses people that don't have imagination. Not a sense of imagination, have access to imagination. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. But fuck it. That's the correct answer. It might not be the best way to put it, but fuck it. Let's see. I did 3 serious approaches with a decent conversation before in the past. You helped inspire me. Thanks, man. No problem, Mello. I'm happy you're actually using that. I'll add this to our book list. Cool. It does make sense. I'm happy if you think it does. You see, Tate has that kind of feedback a lot where loved by some, hated by many. Literally. He's actually a very good example of that. He and I. He's a very good example of that. So does that mean you reach God through meditation? Yes, it's one of the ways. Absolutely. The method itself is unimportant as long as it gets you to that realm. However you want to do it. You can do it through fasting. You can do it through speaking in tongues. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through self-hypnosis. The method doesn't matter. As long as you enter that realm, you're straight. Hell, you can do it through breathing. Seismic breathing is just enough. Let's see. Bro, I recently failed my driving test, but we moved. Ha 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 ha. It looks like you have to walk everywhere, my friend. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. How dare you fail your driving test, you goofball. You have dishonored me. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. Dishonor on your cow. Nah. If you failed your driving test, that means you didn't prepare enough for it. That's all that tells me. You need to work on your preparation, because that's how you pass your driving test. Is you prepare better. Okay. What's good, Jace? Love the spiritual stuff on the recorded live a few weeks ago. No problem, man. No problem, man. We talk about stuff, a lot of stuff. How do you pray to God? If there's witchcraft and spells to reach demons, how do you reach God? Okay, so let's talk about that. Because I told you the method doesn't matter, right? What we've conveniently called witchcraft and spells are nothing but different methods to talk to spiritual beings. What makes them witchcraft isn't the actual method. It's who they're talking to, who they're trying to reach on the other side. The actual methods, you can use those exact same methods to talk to God the Father. I'm being dead ass. I talked about this with someone the other day. Like, oh, you're talking like you're from Africa. There's people in Africa that sacrifice animals to like pray to their gods. Are you really saying you can do that with Jesus? Yes. Yeah, in fact, you can. In fact, it's in the Bible. Absolutely. The first murder that ever happened in the world, according to the Bible, was Cain killing his brother Abel. Right? Why did that murder happen? Because they both sacrificed to God, but one was not accepted by God, the other was. And the one that wasn't was jealous and killed his brother. What were they sacrificing? Right? God rejected Cain's sacrifice, which were what? Herbs and plants and fruit. But he accepted Abel's sacrifice, which was what? The best and the first of his cows and his sheep. Animals. When God made a promise to Abraham, and he told him, I'm going to make you the father of many nations. And then to test Abraham's faith, because again, I keep telling you, God always tests you, right? To make you the person that you need to become to deserve the blessings he's wanting to give you. He goes, Abraham, you remember that son I told you that you're going to have? That the one you eventually had with your wife that was way past menopause, but you still had because I performed a miracle? Yeah, I'm going to need that son, bro. Go up to that mountain over there, trek for 3 days with him, sacrifice him to me. Now, we all know the story. It ended up, it was a happy ending. An angel came down, stopped Abraham from killing his own son, gave him a calf instead that was stuck in the bushes not too far away. They sacrificed that, blah, blah, blah. But God asked for a human, though. Like, don't forget that part. He asked for that. And Abraham, being the father of faith, was willing to give. Right? Remember that. The method itself is not what matters. It's who you're talking to. Right? All these Satanists will draw the Baphomet circle and put their blood into it. You know what you do as a Christian? You draw the cross. Do that. Put your blood into that. Speak to the one that made the sacrifice on the cross. The methods don't matter. It's who you speak to on the other side. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Also, one more thing I got to approach before I get off that. As Christians especially, for those of you that are Christian, can we not forfeit everything to the devil? Because the devil created nothing. I need to remind you of that. Satan created nothing. Every method, every formula that exists came from God. God is the creator of all. All the devil does is take what God already does and corrupts it. So there's nothing inherently evil in the world that God created. Only the way people use it. So when people go, I've heard Christians say, oh, the crystals. If you use crystals, you're a Satanist. Who created the crystals? It ain't Satan. Just because he uses them doesn't mean they're inherently bad. You can use crystals as a Christian. You can. You can. What about burning incense? Where does the incense come from? All the herbs that are used to make it. Who creates that? Who made that? Don't ever forfeit anything to the devil. He created nothing. I hope I'm being clear about that. He owns nothing. He is nothing but a creature like us. He's beneath us, honestly, if you're reading the Bible correctly. You know? Keep that in mind. Now let's see. Pause, yeah. Blue belts are bullies, indeed. Jace, I consider a protected type. Having grown up in the ghettos of Cape Town of South Africa, you learn to neutralize threats and not hesitate when it comes to taking risks. I also develop very firm stubbornness and big risk appetite. But the people in my circle view me as a crazy, selfish asshole. Is that because your circle has changed from where you grew up? Because that makes perfect sense, you know? If you grew up in a harsh survival-based environment and all of a sudden you're now around people that didn't grow up in survival like you did, yeah, you kind of look weird to them in comparison, right? So it makes sense. You would fit right in if you were still friends with people that you knew from where you grew up, right? So it makes sense. With that said, though, it's a good thing that you're around those people because now they're going to teach you like your much needed other side, right? The empathy that comes with it. It's okay to be a risk taker. It's okay to want to do whatever it takes to eliminate the threat. But a real ascension in your thinking is learning that helping your enemies is even better. That's some God shit right there, by the way. The ability to help people that want to kill you, that's an awakening I had recently too, by the way. Right? I had something on TikTok happen and I was like, I don't want to destroy this person. I want to help them. It's like, it taps you into a different level of thinking. That's what Jesus was trying to do with his time here, you know? It's very important. Very important. Learn how to not seek to destroy everything. It's useful, but not all the time. Keep that in mind. There we go. There we go. I'm not there as yet. Currently struggle to pray for someone that hurt me. Yeah. Forgiveness is always a personal thing. I want you guys to remember that. To forgive someone is to alleviate yourself of the need to control everything. Because that's what you're doing when you're not forgiving someone. Is like, I need this to go a certain way. I need them to feel a certain way. I need for myself to feel this and that. Like relinquishing control is the most powerful thing you can do at the end of the day. Anyone that has power will tell you that. All right? So, keep that in mind. Let's see. No, red belts and Dan holders are bullies. That's funny. Right, so I'm asking how would I encourage the sex appeal stuff. You point out anything she's doing that you do like and you encourage that. And you go, yes, do more of that. I love it when you do that. Or you tell her what you want her to do. And tell her and frame it like you would love her more if she did that. That's how you want to frame it. That's how you want to frame it. There we go. I like she got more compliance, obviously. but it also reduced the seductive side of her personality. I want to bring that back. It didn't reduce it at all. It's still there. Whether it just disappear all of a sudden? Nah. It's still there. You just gotta remind her, like, you know. It could also be you're just not telling me something. Because it sounds to me like you harshly punished her for doing the right thing before. Is that what happened? Because that's the only way she can become that closed off. What does it mean to be yourself? The most confusing yet common advice out there. Didn't I just answer this question like literally 20 minutes ago? You guys want me to answer it again? I'll be glad to. But I have to summarize it though, just because I've already spoken about it. Here's the point. End of the day, the best advice in dating is to just be yourself. It is. It really is. There is no other advice out there. It's the best one. The problem is most people forget that being yourself comes with a price. You have to pay a price to be yourself. Most people do not have the balls to be authentically themselves out in public. They don't. They don't. So, unless you're willing to pay that price and be authentically yourself and you're willing to withstand the backlash and the resistance that comes with being yourself authentically, then no. You probably shouldn't be yourself. Nah, you should be yourself, obviously, but, you know, keep that in mind. Let's see. When I checked her a while back, she got scared off and left the siren persona behind as a whole. She didn't leave it behind. She's just scared to do it with you now. Because you clearly, like, you're probably underestimating how harshly you checked her, if you want to call it that. You're probably underestimating how harshly you did it, man. Like, probably. Because the only way she's that scared off now is if you, like, fucking laid into her. And for what? How have you been, brother? Still looking good and keeping fit. Thanks for all you do, broski. Thank you, man. Thank you. Is your name really Thelonious? It's a badass name. Shit. Yo, bro, is a football fan at heart. Well, what Prem team you support? None. Don't ask me about football right now. Listen, I grew up in Nigeria. Football is my first love. Always will be. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been more focused on combat sports than anything. So, oh, hey, Cosman, thanks for the gift. Where you been, Cosman? What you been up to? Long time no see, Mr. Chunks. Indeed, indeed. It does make sense. Thank God. Let's hear the Niger accent. No, I'm not your dancing monkey. You're too smart, bro. Watch the what? I probably was harsh around the defiance, not related to her seductive side. How do I correct that? It's the same thing. Whenever you stifle a woman, everything else gets stifled. It's all connected for them. Right? So if you put a clamp on one thing, everything else gets clamped because now they're going to be too careful around you. So don't do that. Just you know, you might want to walk back your whatever the hell you did. You might want to have a conversation with her and be like, listen, I don't want you to think that means I now hate you. I don't want you to think that, you know, I now resent you or resent who you are or how you are. I actually do like you a lot. Let's go from there, you know? So Jace update, I didn't do the ultimatum like you said, just did cold surrender and she came back. I would never tell you to do ultimatum. Like, so I already know you probably didn't hear my advice correctly. I never tell you guys to give ultimatums. In fact, I tell you guys the opposite. Never use ultimatums. Isn't that what I say, chat? Isn't that literally what I say? Mm. 30-second tutorial on meditation. Learn to breathe. Start in a dark room. A nice dark room. Windows shut, doors shut, no light source. Sit in a chair that you're comfortable in, one that you can preferably rest your back on, not something like this where I have to rotate on it, right? Close your eyes, place your hands on your side, and I want you to begin to breathe in and out consciously. I want you to breathe in so consciously and so meticulously that you can hear your own heartbeat. Then, I want you to start breathing in a certain rhythm. Breathe in for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. And then breathe normally for 10 seconds. And then do that over again. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Go through that same cycle at least 7 times. And I want you to do that until the 7th time. And then I want you to focus on nothing. But whatever image of God you have in your mind. Don't worry, he won't be offended by whatever image you have. Whatever that looks like to you, focus on that. And then you have only one statement to make. Speak, for thy servant heareth. 5 seconds too long, fam? Okay, start with 3 seconds. If 5 seconds is too long, you baby little meditation Mennonites. But yeah, start with that. And all you're doing is entering that place and you're being like, I'm open to receive from you. That's it. You don't have to say, speak for thy servant heareth. We don't speak King James anymore, right? So just be like, I'm open to hear from you, God. Let me know what you want. Let me know who you are. Allow me to see you. Allow me to hear from you. And then go from there. You will get distracted. Or at least there will be many attempts to distract you. It will happen. It's inevitable. But I want you to do it anyway. Okay? I didn't do the ultimatum that I said I would do. You told me to... Oh, okay, that makes more sense. All right, good. That makes more sense. Sorry for the misunderstanding before. Bet I'll do that. Then I can segue that into her being more like a siren again without the defiance. Yeah. In Jamaica, we buy a car and drive. That's how we learn to drive. That's so funny. Same in Nigeria, by the way. In England, you can fail for anything, bro. The roads are very busy. Really? Whatever, we move, try again? Yes, we move indeed. Can you lucid dream and astral... There's so many questions, guys. You gotta, like, one at a time with the highlighted questions. Whatever, bro, we move. Yes, indeed. What would be the biggest tip in dating you would ever give? Get good at surviving tension. Become the kind of man that can withstand and survive tension. Can there be danger seeing black entities in dreams while astral projecting? If you think about that, you'll see it. So you probably want to remove that from your mind first before you try to do anything like that. Besides, actual, like, people make astral projection sound like it's so, like, important and fun, and it's such a weird thing to do because it's such high risk, such little reward. You could achieve the exact same things without astral projecting. You can just ask around. I'm saying ask around like you know what that means. Like, once you enter that realm, once you're there, you now have access. As long as you, like, depending on your rank, of course, but you now have access to the same kind of information all the other spiritual beings in that realm have. So you don't need to go anywhere else. Like, but that's why astral projection is such a goofy thing. Like, oh, I need to leave my body and go. Like, once you go to the spiritual realm, there's no time and space. There's no positioning. It doesn't work like that there. So you don't need to move anywhere to go find something or go anywhere to go peek into something. Like, fuck all that. Just get the information that everyone else has access to. Like, think about it. When Jesus was born, right? And there was a star over Bethlehem the night he was born. The astrologers, the wise men, the numerologists all saw the same star and knew what it meant and knew how to follow it and find Jesus. That's how you have the story of the 3 wise men bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to Mary and Joseph for, the new king of Israel, the king of the Jews, Jesus Christ, right? How were they able to have access to that information? The spirit realm. They were able to interpret the physical messages from the spirit realm. Does that make sense? So they didn't need astral projection to go find out where Jesus was at. They just knew like the laws, and they knew how to follow them. That's it. You don't gotta stress yourself and risk your fucking life, You're possessing this body for a reason. When you're going to the spiritual realm, do you visually see the spirit you speak while your eyes are closed? So that's a very good question. This is how it's gonna start out for you when you're starting out. It's not gonna be spirits you're going to see. You're going to see images that your own subconscious are used to forming. Think about it like this. By the way, this is another method to go to the spiritual realm. Dreams. When you're sleeping and you see dreams, do you ever see people in your dreams that you're very familiar with in your real life? All right? And they're all doing something in the dream. Maybe they make you feel some way or another way, negative, positive, blah, blah. You want to know why those things happen? Because that is that realm trying to communicate something to you. Or specifically, someone in that realm trying to communicate something to you. But that message, when it gets into your subconscious, isn't going to be a string of letters or words. It's going to be in the form of an idea, in the form of a concept. It's then your subconscious mind's job to interpret that concept in a way that makes sense to you. That's what a dream is. So that's why all dreams need some kind of interpretation, right? Because just because you're seeing certain things in your dream doesn't mean that that's what they directly mean. It's an interpretation your subconscious is giving to those particular ideas that were dropped in there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So when you see someone in your dream that you haven't seen in a while in real life, you're seeing that person in your dream because they represent something to your subconscious. Your job is to then interpret what that means, what that person might mean to you on a physical level, so that you can use that to understand and decode the spiritual message. And I said all that to explain, just that. Like, the idea of how those messages come to you isn't always going to be like straightforward like that. It's just going to be a concept dropped in there. I ain't leaving my shredded body unguarded for a possible spirit to jump in. Oh, F that. It doesn't quite work that way, but I get what you mean. Are you saying dreams happen inside the spiritual realm? I'm saying dreams are a piece of the spiritual realm coming to you at night. Because when you're sleeping, guess what's... Like, it's such a weird thing. When your body is asleep, your spirit is awakened. That's why dreams happen. You're now more alert to see things from that realm. But, again, the subconscious mind and the way your own mind works, it gets in the way of that. That's why you have these weird dreams where you see things you don't understand, and it's like, who is it? I haven't seen this person in a long time. Why am I doing that with this person? Doesn't even make any sense. Who would this person be? I've never even seen this face before. Come to find out later, you've actually seen that face before. It's just someone you walk past one day on the street, right? Like, every face you see in a dream is real, by the way, in case you didn't know that. And science has even proven that. Every face you see in a dream is real. It just, you either remember them or don't. Right? But again, that's all your subconscious's way of trying to interpret those spiritual concepts into like a physical, tangible information you can digest. But it always like fucks up the translation. So you gotta interpret them correctly, I believe one of the gifts is interpretation of dreams. It's a gift from the Holy Spirit, indeed. Well, it's primarily a skill, but I get what you mean. The Holy Spirit does give grace to certain people to be able to do that, but even before the Holy Spirit descended in the Bible, there were people interpreting dreams left and right. Like, think Daniel. Remember Daniel and the three brothers, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego? They were really good at interpreting dreams, Daniel in particular, right? It kind of got him in trouble, and then God used it to glorify him later. But the point is, dream interpretation is primarily a skill. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, if you visit the spiritual realm more often, do your dreams get clearer? Yes. Well, because you now have a subconscious that is trained to understand the things of the spirit. Does that make sense? That's how it happens. It's a weird thing, but it's very interesting. Praying hands. Thank you. But do you eat pig as a Christian? Absolutely. Pork is delicious. Didn't we have pork the other day?
Yeah, there's bacon.
It is bacon. Yeah. Bacon is delicious. Let me talk about that for a second too. Sausages, pork sausages, bacon. It's delicious. Let me tell you why the whole pork thing is goofy. Like, oh, don't eat pork. Now, is there a reason why God told the children of Israel in the wilderness to not eat, pork or pigs or anything like that? There's a long list of stuff they shouldn't have eaten, right? Of course there is, because one, understand the technology at the time to purify those things did not exist. And two, if you have all those things in your body when you don't have the ability to purify them correctly, that dulls the senses. That makes you lethargic, that makes you slow, that makes you sluggish, all that good stuff. So God essentially protected them from their own demise by saying, don't eat these certain things. Fast forward to 2024, we can make bacon, and it can be the purest thing on the shelf. Does that make sense? We can eat lobster. That's another thing, by the way. Lobsters are essentially what pigs are, but for the sea. And yet we have the ability not only to eat them, but to make them like almost a luxury item food now, which is crazy to think about because like a few decades ago, it was a peasant's food. Oh, it's so funny. Repost that, by the way. I didn't see that before that disappeared. But when Jesus ascended up into heaven, God appeared to Peter in a vision, as he always does, right? In a vision, and he showed him a feast of all these meals. By the way, don't take my word for it. This is in the Bible. Go Google it when you're done listening to me. He shows up with a feast in front of Peter and goes, eat. I've made all this, eat. And Peter looks at the table and goes, but Father, there's all these stuff in here that you told us, the children of Israel, not to eat of. There's pigs here, there's this here, there's that here, unclean this, unclean that. And then God goes, I've made it all. None of it is unclean. And then the vision stops. And ever since then, Christians, well, some of us, have been eating pork, and it's been delicious. Because of course it's delicious. God made it. God made pigs that delicious. Right, babe? Made it that, like what Cat Williams say? I love that joke he makes, where he's like, God made bacon delicious. Look at the pig. From the rooter to the tutor, it's nothing but deliciousness. I love that joke he makes, man. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, pigs are delicious. God made pigs. Eat pigs. You're done. Carl Jung always spoke on dream analysis to make the unconscious conscious. The idea of existence and improvement in general is to make the unconscious conscious. That's the entire point. Most people aren't willing to go through the work that takes, though. But that is the point. I'm not there as yet. Currently struggle to pray for someone that hurt me. You'll get there. Give it time. Thoughts on veganism and eating meat? Oh, like veganism versus the carnivore diet? I always tell people, the best thing ever, she said, essentially, but the best thing ever is a balanced diet. Like, that's what humans were made for. We were made to be omnivores. We were made to not limit ourselves to just one thing or one kind of thing or anything like that. However, I will say, if you are in an extreme situation, then you require an extreme thing to get out of where you are. Does that make sense? So if you're a dude and you're like 300 pounds or 350 pounds, whatever, go up as high with the numbers as you want. I'm not going to tell that guy, for you to get healthy and lose all the weight and unclog your arteries, you need to just eat a balanced diet. Like, fuck that. He doesn't need a balanced diet. In fact, he hasn't had a balanced diet. That's why he got that fucking big. So he's not going to need a balanced diet to get down. He's going to need something extreme, like the carnivore diet. Or maybe go vegan for a while. Or, me personally, what I would tell him, you're fasting. You're fucking fasting for 30 days and 30 nights. You're going to have nothing but water and Celtic salt under your tongue. That is it. Because it took an extreme amount of caloric surplus to get to that point. You're going to need an extreme amount of caloric deficit to get out of there. Now, once he gets out of there, balanced diet. Cool, and now we can get back to being normal. But when you're in an extreme situation, extreme problems require extreme measures, baby. That's what I think. So use all these diets as tools to regulate yourself and get out of situations you don't want. Studies show that we are actually omnivores in our hunter-gatherer days. Yeah, we are fucking omnivores. Like, we eat everything. We eat everything from salt to honey to peppers. You realize we've evolved to be able to withstand the caspicine and pepper? That's actually supposed to be poisonous to us. We use that shit to spice up our foods. Like, you know how crazy we are as beings? We eat everything. Do you think David Goggins should be more balanced since he already overcame himself? Honestly, yeah. Like, he's one of those people that's like, I mean, to be honest, he kind of is now. You know, he's no longer doing those, last I checked anyway, I don't think he's doing any of those crazy 1,000-mile marathons, right? It's been a while he's done that. He runs every day. I think he does like a cool 10 miles a day, which is crazy for the average person. But for him, that's like decent. That's cool. I think that's a nice balanced situation he's got going on. But yeah, balance. That's the key. I already answered this question. What does it mean to be yourself? Maybe this is why extreme diets work during cancer too. Kind of like overcorrection. Literally. I keep telling people, and people think I'm laughing when I say this, but we all have cancer. And we all cure cancer on a daily basis. Did you know that? Did you know our bodies create enough cancerous cells on a daily basis to have cancer? The reason people have cancer, like the one we call cancer, manifested cancer going up in stages, is because their bodies, for whatever reason, didn't have the ability to counteract the cancerous cells, or the growth of those cancerous cells, the multiplication of the cancerous cells. And how do they multiply? They get fed. What do they feed on? Carbs. So you gotta cut that shit off for a second. I'm telling you, I really feel like most people that have cancer, I'm not saying it'll work for everybody, right? I'm not gonna go full Dr. Sebi on you guys. But I would say for most cancers out there, a good 30-day fast and that shit should cure it. Fuck it, chemotherapy, honestly. I never understood the concept of chemotherapy. Oh, let's kill cancer by killing the person. Like, what the fuck? what kind of... And then they'd say, oh, the cancer came back. No shit, you gave yourself a new fresh batch of it with radiation. Human logic baffles me sometimes. He still does a lot of pull-ups and sometimes does long runs, but his philosophy is no balance. Is that his philosophy? His philosophy is no balance? Well, he's not living like it. Because if he was, he would be going on a 1,000-mile marathon every week. But he's not. So clearly there's for him, there is a balance. His balance is most of ours extremes, right? But we gotta hit balance at some point. You gotta hit homeostasis. It's the goal of every organism on this planet to do that. You know? Maybe veganism or carnivore diet or just fasting should work for it. Honestly, not even carnivore. Not even veganism too. Just fast. Just fast. Depending on your body fat percentage, you're either gonna go vegan or go carnivore or just straight up just fast, bro. Just fast. Now, me personally, I'm a crazy person, so I pretty much fast every day. I'm not saying you have to do that. But for me personally, that's my balance. That's a really good balance. Now, am I going to do this forever? Probably not. But, yeah. It's definitely gotten me away from the extreme I was at before. What are your thoughts on Sean Strickland poking at the Navy SEAL community? They better not fall for the bait. He'll kill all of them. The thing people don't seem to understand is that, and this is something the vast majority of humans need to correct in their thinking. People really don't respect craftsmanship or the ability to get good at something. The average person doesn't understand the gap in skill between them and like their favorite basketball player in the NBA. Like there's a massive gap in skill. A lot of people don't respect the gap in skill between themselves and your favorite UFC champion, or even just the fucking UFC fighter that's in the bottom 15 of their weight class. There's a massive fucking gap in skill there. I don't care how long they've been training as Navy SEALs. Sean Strickland has been sparring every day for the last 8 years. You're not gonna beat him. You're not. I'm sorry. You're just not. I don't care. Because I'm not saying Navy SEALs are pussy. If there's any Navy SEALs here, I'm not calling you pussy. You're not pussy. Being a Navy SEAL is fucking badass. Like, well done. It's hard training. But it's not fight training. So I can whoop your ass. Sorry. You haven't trained as long as me. Not in that. Like, I can't even swim. So if you take me to the water, I'm fucked. Right? If you take me, I'm drowning, bitch. I can't swim. I'm fucked. I'm such a black guy about this shit. Nah, but if you meet me on the mat, I'm gonna kill you. Sorry. You haven't spent as much time as me on there. You want to meet me in the ring, I'll knock you the fuck out. I knock people out like every other month, and that's with headgear on. I'm gonna kill you. Again, shout out to the Navy SEALs. You guys, the sacrifice you make, well done. It's not the sacrifices I've made. I would never go into the fucking military camps and be like, I can do recon missions better than anyone else here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with that. That's not where my experience lies. But you meet me on the mat, I will fucking murder you. Simple. That's it. The Garden of Eden, they were only eating fruits and veggies, but then they got kicked out and God... What the fuck are you talking about? What Bible y'all reading? Huh? They weren't only eating fruits and veggies. Adam wasn't naming all those animals for nothing. Let's get that one straight. God didn't say they can only eat fruits and veggies. He said they can eat of any fruit and veggies as long as it's not that particular tree over there with the fruits of the knowledge of good and evil. In my opinion, we were created to eat fruits and veggies. You can tell me, and you can tell when Adam and Eve were. Oh my God. No, don't. You sound like a stupid person. No, go and read your Bible. Go and read your Bible. Go and read your Bible. And like, that's probably not even good advice either, because most people don't know how to read things in context or read the correct, so. Okay, have a Bible. There's a lot of mistranslations in there. So also have a concordance, a strong concordance. And then also have, if you can, some solid research papers on the original Hebrew and Aramaic writings. If you're assuming you're not lazy enough to read it that way, right? Read that. And please don't read the Bible in the New King James Version. Can you not do that? We don't talk like that. Hear ye, for I have said, the Lord cometh to all of us. Like, we don't talk like that. So why would you read the Bible in a way that you don't even understand? Read the Bible in the New Message. Read it in the Amplified if you're a wordy guy like me. Okay? Read the Bible. Like, really read that shit. Don't just say shit that you heard someone else say. Like, read that shit. Alright? Just saying, it's been a long time since his trauma, but he never acted like it ended mentally. What are we talking about? Un momento, por favor. Come here. What do you say?
I need the keys.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Be careful. What I teach you.
Shoot them with the blicky.
Good girl.
Love you.
The pink one. All right. Let's see. David Goggins. I didn't even remember what I just wrote. What I just read. My bad. You're too smart, bro. Watch the beef. You focused. Yeah. I had to. Had to lock in. You forget.
Sunglasses.
You don't leave the house without looking shady cool, baby. Come on now.
I'm better than that.
You're better than that. You know that. Mwah. I'm just saying it's been a long time since his trauma, but he never acted like it ended mentally. Oh, I know what you... Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I know what you mean now. I know exactly what you mean now. Basically, he still behaves as if he's still that fat kid that needs to overwork himself to lose all that weight. Fair enough. You're right. But that insecurity has led to a lot of success and him helping change a lot of people's lives, so I can't even complain. You know what I mean? Read that shit. Y'all never know what shit he was talking about. Like, again, just read it. You know, I don't mind people, like, you know, talking about the Word of God, the Bible, but it's never the people that actually read it that talk the loudest about it. Oh, this and that happened. Did you read it? Did you? Because I did. I read the book, front to back, back to front. I read it in different contexts. I read it as a storybook, then I read it as a psychological drama, then I read it as a spiritual encounter or several spiritual encounters. I read it back to front, front to back. I've understood things about the Bible that'll make you fucking cry. Which, by the way, if you're not reading the Bible and getting, like, shook up physically, you're not really reading it. You're not really reading it. You're probably just reading it like a storybook. Probably just reading it like historical encounter. Like, nah, the Bible is the darkest book on the planet. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's the darkest book on this planet. But y'all don't know because you don't read it. You think it's all rainbows and sunshine in there, and it's not. It's not. The shit gets real fucked up. It really does. It gets real fucked up. But, you know, you didn't hear that from me. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but he has not done enough of that repetitive training. In terms of, like, all that extreme stuff, yeah, sure. Let's see. Didn't expect... So Jason, I didn't go do the ultimatum like you say. You just did the cold surrender and she came back. Didn't expect it to work that well. I'm happy, Mr. Chunks. I appreciate you, man. Like, you guys don't understand how happy I get when you use the information I give you and you see it work. Oh, it makes me feel so fucking good. Thank you. Have you ever read the Quran front to back? It's definitely very dark. Not front to back, no. But I have read a good amount. I'm still reading it though. You know, I gotta brush up on my Arabic, obviously, because I want to read it from the source. So, let's see. I was busy learning the way of Jesus. Sorry, it wasn't much here. You're fine, man. You're fine. The beef with the Christian guy, he was manipulating your words and projecting and running from what he did, privating the vid and using his mom as an excuse. Even that, like, you guys don't understand how much restraint it took me not to just, like, little boy the guy. Like, again, like, you think it wouldn't have been easy for me to just be like, this man is out here using his mom as an excuse. Like, it's already bad enough he looks 12. Like, come on. Don't do that. I could have done that, but he needs my help. That's how I see it. That guy needs my help. He's not going to admit it, but, you know, I'll be happy to help him. Just a matter of time. Does the opener's guide in your bio have only the openers or how to continue the conversation after you say that? It has essentially a bit of that, but mostly just the openers and how to use the openers effectively. The way to actually use them, practice them, all that good stuff. Are there nonverbal ways to behave yourself? Like, should you focus on slowing down, calming the body? I would focus more on your mind, man. Like, the best way to change your body language is to change the way you view yourself. If you change the way you view yourself, the way you move in the world will naturally change too. You know? Let's see. Thoughts on John Anthony lifestyle. He's a crazy person. Be careful. Those are my genuine, honest thoughts. He's a crazy person. And I called it years ago, too, when I said, I don't know why that Playing with Fire guy is hanging out with him. He's about, like, for someone called Playing with Fire, he should know when he's playing with fire. And then guess what? Like 2 months later, they had it falling out. And they started airing each other's dirty laundry out like fucking 12-year-olds. So no, don't hang around. Like it's a literal law of power, man. Don't hang around the unlucky. That shit is contagious. Don't do that. The only thing Sean Strickland has on Navy SEALs is hand-to-hand combat. He loses in everything else, though. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about, is it? We're talking about hand-to-hand combat. Like, Sean is not stupid. He's not over there like, I can swim better than you guys. Like, that's not what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, this is my shit. I'm a fighter. This is what I've trained for my entire life. Fuck all of you and your military training. It doesn't compare to mine. And he's right. He's right. That's it. Like, again, if he says, I can swim better, then I'll be the first one to be like, no, you fucking can't, Sean. You're going to get smoked. No, I can hold my breath longer. No, the fuck you can't, Sean. No, but that's not what he's saying. He's smart. He's keeping it to his lane. How do you build your self-image? Do things that make you build more self-respect for yourself. Because self-image is directly connected to self-respect. When you respect yourself, you see yourself more highly. How do you do things to build up your self-respect? Do hard things. The way to build respect for yourself and even in the eyes of other people is to do things that other people are not willing to do. The hard, difficult things. That's how you do it. Let's see. Bet I'll do that, then I can segue into her being more like a siren again without the defiance. Yeah. Ultimatum is a form, it's from a place of weakness. Yes, it is. You moved out over it. Nah, the different bitch's house. I meant I didn't do ultimatum that I said. Oh yeah, I read that one. That's a dream, that's a production. I knew he was off, John Anthony, when he comes off as know-it-all and tried to boy Mystery. Okay, that was, if he did that, I didn't even know he did that. I thought he was a fan of Mystery. Because a lot of what he talks about is just the Mystery method. Hell, a lot of what I talk about is the Mystery method. Mystery is the fucking white Jesus of pickup. So there's no way to talk about like pickup without talking about Mystery and his work. It bleeds into all of us. If he starts talking about like boying Mystery, like, that guy's stupid. Is that true? Come on, even he's crazy, but even he can't be that stupid. Do you believe all Abrahamic religions are the right way? How do I answer that question? The religion isn't the point. So I don't believe any religion is the right way. God didn't call us to be religious. God didn't call us to have religions. God called us to have a relationship with Him. Does that make sense? It's not the religion that's the point. Following a religion is not what gets you to be one with God or to be more like God or to mirror Him in His image, in your image, you know? That's not the point. So, yeah, fuck all the religions. 2 hours ago, yeah, he said he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Really? Yeah, that guy's having an episode or something. No, he's doing too much now. Jesus is the point, bro. Have a relationship with the Son. Having a relationship with the Son is having a relationship with the Father. Do you understand? Like, that's the whole point Jesus came here to tell us. That's the whole point. That's what He came here to tell us. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So it all points back to the Father. Religions themselves were created by humans, i.e. the church. Yeah, church, Musk, Hinduism, all that stuff. Like, that's not how God wanted us to be right with Him. Does that make sense? I agree. I was talking to the guy who asked about religion. Oh yeah, I assume we were agreeing with each other. Yeah. Yeah, I was agreeing with you when I said that. Like, yeah, this the Son. If you've seen the Son, you've seen the Father. I need to lose 150 pounds. Any advice? Fast for 30 days and 30 nights. Nothing but water and Celtic salt. That's the advice. Or go carnivore. You'll lose weight slower, but you'll lose weight. If you want to lose that 150 pounds, 30 days and 30 nights, no food, no solid food, no drinks either, no juices, nothing like that. Literally nothing but water, 30 days, 30 nights. You will lose, maybe not the whole 150, but a good amount, like 60 pounds. Let's see. Answered that one. Why do you believe Christianity is the right way? Because I understand the laws of the Spirit, and I understand that when you look at the laws of the spiritual realm, the only entity that really obeyed them correctly is Jesus Christ. It's the only one. Nobody else. He's the only one. So if you think about it, it's more like I believe in Jesus purely from a scientific point of view, in a weird way of thinking about it, because like sacrifice is the primary language of the Spirit, and He's the only one that made one. All right. Anyone that's spiritual or understands how spirituality works will all tell you sacrifice is the most important thing. So why is it that Jesus is the only one that made a sacrifice? Exactly. That's why I'm rocking with him. Jason, one of your previous lives, you said that a lot of sickness and diseases starts on the spiritual realm level first, and then physical. Can you explain more of that? Okay. Well, you pretty much just said the whole thing. That's kind of like the whole point. Is like everything starts from the higher realms, and then they bleed down into the lower ones. The lowest one here is the physical, the 3D realm. Flesh and blood, up, down, left, right, past, present, future, length, width, height. Let me chill out. But yeah, that's why. Oh, this use Jezebel, Satan. Nah, but this is how it works. You got to think about existence like a diamond, right? Like two pyramids meeting each other in the middle, and it bleeds from the top to the bottom, to the middle, and then back to the bottom, like that. Spiritual realm, emotion, psychological dance, physical, right? That's how it works. And in the case of like sickness or disease or anything, dis-ease, right? All that is a corruption of the natural workings of your body. Every sickness, every disease is just a corruption of how your body already naturally functions. Either it makes something works too well, or it makes something not work well enough. That's all a sickness or a disease is. That's all it is. What causes... Okay, so there is no disease in the spiritual realm, but there is corruption in the spiritual realm. So that corruption in the spiritual realm is what bleeds down into the physical as disease. It manifests here as disease. But it always starts with something that is more of a corruption of your spiritual self, right? Putting yourself out of balance in disarray. And then physically it manifests as disease. Let's see. Oh man, my bad. I have to scroll back up. There we go. I believe one of the gifts is interpretation. All right, I read that one. Guess that's what sin is. That's literally what sin is. Sin is just corruption. It's the transgression of the natural order of things. Do you know about mudras or hand signs? You can use them for physical healing. It's not the hand signs that heal you. It's the intentions you have behind them. The hand signs are just a physical representation of what you're trying to do on a spiritual realm. That's it. They're mirroring symbols. And by the way, that's all the hand signs are doing. They're mirroring actual drawn symbols. Right? That's all they're doing. People that don't practice never truly understand the value. Indeed. Let's see. My old lady dreams are clear and they tend to come true. Ooh, that is a beautiful, man. A girl that has dreams that are that clear and she can like damn near be like your crystal ball for the future, that's a blessing. That's a fucking blessing. There's plenty of examples where good people, at least on the surface, got bad diseases like cancer. Well, they might be good on the surface, then why did they get that particular manifestation in their lives? There's a corruption there somewhere. I'm not saying you have to be a bad person for that to happen to you. It happens to good people too. I'm just saying corruption happens to both good and bad people. And on that level, you know? Let's see. All right, I gotta go soon, guys. I gotta bounce. Like, I gotta bounce now, actually. All right. Let's see. Will you upload this live tonight? Yes, I will. The moment TikTok lets me get done with rendering and stuff, absolutely. But yeah, all right, guys. I gotta bounce. I gotta go. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. For those of you that haven't seen or gotten the self-belief course, go and get that. It's free. God damn it. Yeah. It's free. All right. Do with all the information I gave you in this live, make sure you actually go and practice. Very important. You need to make sure that you're practicing the game that I give you so you can see the value of it. And I always tell people, don't even buy anything from me until you've seen results with the free shit I give you. When you see results with that, then you can come spend your money on me. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Do with all this information.
What you must.
Hey.